All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Point Extra Lounge. You know what? Enosh is a little fired up tonight. That's right. Listen, my apologies to my friend Max if you saw that stream. But you know what? Max and I are friends. I love Max. There's a lot of other people out there, though, who don't need our time. But we're here for you. You're here for us. And we got something to talk about. Is DC in turmoil? There are cult fans out there that absolutely hate James Gunn. I mean, it's gotten bad. It's gotten really bad. If you are not on other social media platforms besides maybe Twitter, Instagram, go on Facebook once in a while, man. You are going to see some nonsense on Facebook, trust me. There are Facebook pages, supposed Snyder Facebook pages that are atrocious. I mean, serious issues here. Maybe, you know what, maybe I'll, I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll find some of those tonight and share with you what some of these Snyder hijackers are sharing. Because it's nonsense. It's more than nonsense. It is now trash. They trash everything. They're just haters. They want to hate the entire thing and everything that's going to come out. I've said it over and over again. I am fine with the new regime as long as they produce something that's good. I'm not against it. But these people, death threats and everything is negative, everything is just bad and whatnot. I'm over it, guys. I'm over it. I'm tired of putting up with it. But tonight we're going to talk about just how bad things are in DC. Apparently, if you haven't heard, Aquaman movie is horrible. Aquaman tests are really bad, but guess what? Mira is testing really, really well. I find that funny. I'm sorry. It's just kind of funny to me. But then also, Shazam 2. Is it going to be any good? It's tracking for one of the worst openings ever, apparently. And everybody's talking about it. All these Snyder, that's another thing that all these Snyder Facebook pages are sharing, is the actual pictures of how many tickets have been pre-ordered for the movie before it comes out. And they're acting like it's such a big deal that only like one or two, seats have been preoccupied. But hey, that, it is what it is, man. We're going to talk about it all tonight. And you know what? We're going to do our thing in our usual fun way. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you have some fun with us tonight. Here in the Point Extra Lounge.
me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut. To go.
In good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is for. In good times, we've had them, and bad times, oh, Lord knows. But I'll be on your side forevermore. 'Cause that's what friends are for. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett. No, it's not my real name. It's what people call me, because my name is Enosh. And I like Boba Fett a lot. And so I created that screen name years ago, and it ended up building into a channel that I eventually rebranded as Poindexter Lounge. What do you know? Welcome to the lounge, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, please hit that like and subscribe button. You know what? I like that. I like that Anthony Grigsby right in there with the hit that like button, folks. Hit that like button. Here's the thing. The Poindexter Lounge is the place for nerds, the place where you and me and all of us can get together. And, remember those days when we used to talk about the things that we love? Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. Remember those days? When people weren't fighting and griping over every IP and everything that they just didn't like, and the things that they assumed was going to be wrong with every movie and every TV show and every IP. Star Wars sucks and DC sucks and now Marvel sucks, for God's sake. I mean, I never thought that we'd live to see that day that all of a sudden people would be complaining about Marvel, but people are complaining about Marvel. Oh, yes, they are. They complain about Marvel left and right. And of course, DC, man, like the DC fandom, we're going to get into tonight, but the DC fandom is so fractured. Nobody's a DC fan anymore. Like, I take that back, because I know DC fans. I know really good DC fans that just want to see a good Superman story. They want to see a good Batman story. They want to see a good Flash story or Shazam or whoever. They don't care who the director is. They don't care who wrote the movie. They don't care who's in charge of the regime. God, I wish I could go back to the days when I didn't know who the freaking director even was. I remember when I went to go see Watchmen for the first time. Yeah, now I know it's a brilliant film by Zack Snyder, but now we're so educated fans. We're so educated about every single thing that, man, now we care and we blame people for everything, and we put the blame on all these people because, oh, well, that writer's on it. Well, that's going to suck. This director's directing. That's going to suck. This person's in charge of the studio, so it's gonna suck. Stuff is gonna suck that hasn't even been written yet. But we're still here. And we try to keep a positive outlook on things. So, if that's you, please hit that like and subscribe button and join us as we attempt to continue on and carry on the tradition of liking stuff. And, you need me to turn up the mic. You know what? I can't, I need to, maybe I just need to get a little bit closer. Is that going to help you a little bit there? I got to crank. It's the same as it usually is. So I don't know why you would have a problem hearing it. Let me go into my settings. Let me see if I got something. Maybe my settings are off a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. That's up all the way. Yeah, that's up all. Our output. Here we go. Output is all the way up. Yeah, it's all the way up, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It should be all the way up for you as well. Everybody all the way up. Anyways, welcome to the show, folks. We're gonna have a good time tonight. I'll try to get as close to the mic as I can tonight. All right. You know what? I got to get my soundboard. I'm trying to process this room and get things, and so I need my soundboard right now. I'm just going directly into my computer, so that might be an issue as well. I should sound exactly the same. Anyways, tonight I do want to first off start off by saying thank you to all of you who support us. I know there are some of you who are not on this list now, and I promise that by the next time I stream, I will have updated this list. I meant to update this list today of members and patrons, and so thank you. Thank you. If your name is not appearing on this list, I apologize, and I just tell you that your name will be on the list next time, and I love you, and I thank you for your support and what you mean to the show, and what you mean to the channel, and what you mean to me and my wife and my kids. And thank you to everyone who gives super chats. It is greatly appreciated. It helps us to be able to continue doing what we're doing here, not only on the lounge, but in my personal life. And then of course, all of these things are here for you if you would like to support the lounge in some way and you don't want any money to go to YouTube. You can do it this way. And then don't forget the end of March. I'll be announcing here pretty soon the new inductees into the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame. So be looking for that. And then, of course, we have a store where you can pick all kinds of cool stuff that is there for you to peruse and maybe take something home, right? Or give a present to, somebody that you know. So thank you to all those who take advantage of that. Also, we don't want to forget the fine people, the fine people. Oh, you know what's coming. At bullysticksdirect.com. That's right, bullysticksdirect.com. Bully Sticks are awesome. Let me just tell you that. They're awesome. Look here, you come on here, you can automatically save 10%. But I'm going to show you the website here. Of course, bullysticksdirect.com or Bully Sticks Dog Treats and Chews. My dogs love them. You will too. All natural and preservative free, no added hormones or antibiotics. Single source supplier for quality and consistency. There's all kinds of different categories. There's all kinds of different treats that you can find something for your pet specifically. And there you go. Bully Sticks Direct. You can see all of the wonderful things here. Go there. They got a telephone number right there that you can call if you have concerns or questions or whatever. Why Bully Sticks? Because they alleviate boredom. They lessen anxiety. They're for fun. They're healthy. They're safe. They're great. And you know what? They also have some awesome, cool stuff here. About the thing. Be choosy. Trust Bully Sticks Direct for your pet's needs, including bully sticks, Achilles tendons, turkey tendons, etc., for humanely raised and FDA approved sources. And free shipping on all orders. You can auto ship and save. Use code Poindexter to save 10% at checkout. So make sure you use that. They also have a great blog here, like, love your dog, 7 ways to boost connection, trust, and bonding with your dog. Choose Bully. I mean, there's just dog breeds that thrive during the winter months. All these cool things right here at your fingertips. Go to bullysticksdirect.com. Tell him Poindexter Lounge sent you. And then Greg, my friend who runs that company, will be on here at some time. We're going to do some cool stuff with them. All right, we're going to go to the chat here real quick. I love you guys, of course. Jared is here. What's up, my friend Aaron? There is Hey, Enash chat and fam. Thade is here. Good to see you, Thade. What's up, Jalen? Says, okay, that was a wild stream, man. Enash, I hope you and Max and everyone will be okay. We will. Listen, yes, I will. I'll address the elephant in the room. Look, my thing is that sometimes you know something, you can't just share with everybody. You can't just show everybody because it affects not only you but other people as well. And so I'm going to remain true to that. And hopefully I get some information that clears all that up, and I'm able to show that publicly and do whatever. But when you're friends with somebody, you don't need to hold on to toxic people. And that was all my point. And I love Max, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Kavari, what's up? See, I told you I unblocked you. Yes, the cult is getting stupid right now, and it's kind of pissing me off, to be quite honest with you. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, Patrick. Good to see you, Jay Casali. There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate your love and your support. What's up, Zeno? Just say no to gatekeeping. I'll gatekeep all I want, sir. You can't tell me what to do. Kavari, you know what? You're not wrong, man. And that's what concerns me most of all these threats and all this nonsense. Laser Luke, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Jay Sinise is here. Some cool guy named Poindexter Lounge said he was starting up. That's cool. That dude Vince, what's up, Vince? I love you, man. Let's see who else is here. Saras is here. When it comes to the idea of gatekeeping, I'm very, very, very picky at it. I choose who I gatekeep. I wonder if what's up, Dartskipio says, I wonder if Wonder Woman 3 is going to continue. Well, that's a good question. Todd Fayer's here. Max can't accept it was just a turkey. Sometimes a turkey's just a turkey, and sometimes people are hanging out with too many turkeys. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Keely? Chow in the house. It was a very nice turkey, though. You're right. It was a very nice turkey. Let's see who else is here real quick, and then we'll get started. You guys were talking, a lot of the same people were talking there for a minute. I'm just trying to find somebody new. Well, Multiverse of Movies here. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you, brother. Absent Good is here. Good to see you. Fourth 1000 is here. Yeah, I know. I should have turned on the music a little bit in my intro. I probably should have, but, we're here now. Can't go back and redo it. What's up? Rational Skeptic says, you see, this is the problem. They're too scared to do a full reboot of DC, and yet they don't want to give the old DCU proper closure, so you get leftovers from the previous universe in the new DCU. Dude, this is the problem. Nobody agrees, right? So the problem is, yes, you don't. And I'm on both sides. I'm really on both sides, and that's what sucks about this, is I see both sides, but I see both sides acting like complete a-holes about the whole thing. So it's like, yes, I want some kind of closure. Yes, I would love for them to finish the Snyderverse in a proper way. But if they don't do it, what am I going to do about it? Am I just going to boycott everything DC for the rest of my life? Heck no. Heck no. I'm not going to live my life. And then what am I going to be under the scrutiny of some fans that are going to tell me, yeah, you're not a real DC fan. You're not a real Snyder fan because you don't bitch and moan and complain and go carry signs down to, places that weren't even Stone Quarry. I mean, just no. No, I'm not. I refuse. What's up, Crush It? Crush It is crushing it as usual. Anthony Grigsby is here. Always love to see Anthony Grigsby. He's my brother from down under. I would love to be able to meet Anthony one day. Anthony just has the greatest heart, has just the greatest personality, man. And I miss talking with Anthony. I'm just going to have to do some member streams where we just do members, man. And hopefully everybody shows up, What's going on? It's Hey, that dumb chicken. Good to see you, brother. All right. What's up, Jordan? Hey, Jordan, I need to answer you, man. I am so sorry. Tiffany had surgery this last week, and I got your message on Facebook, and it's saved there because I need to answer it, and I need to figure out when we're going to get together and do this. And I even got a nice, cool, I got this mic for Christmas and everything. And so, yes, I need to do that. And I apologize, brother. I apologize. I am not ignoring you. What's up? Integrity says, don't hit things, guys. There's no need for it. All you have to do is gently apply pressure to the like button. I like I don't know if you guys ever watch, what's his name? I wish I could think of his name right now. Leon Lush. I love that guy. Leon Lush. He says, hip thrust that mother effing like button. Hip thrust it. Spherical Man, what's going on? Okay, well, Ryan Cinematics, what's going on? Says, hey, Nash, did you hear the WBD DCU going to CinemaCon and probably showcasing full details on the slate of the Flash film? Yeah, they're going to show the Flash film there. So that's pretty cool. Darkness Under the Wind, what's going on? What's going on, Darkness Under the Wind? Okay, and you know what? I want to say something because there's people who come to me. What's up, Cisco? Good to see you, Cisco. So to get started, I just want to say this. I know. I am not naive to the fact. People think that I'm naive to the fact that there are people who are in my chat that are here, but then they go over to watch other YouTubers. I watch other YouTubers. I don't care about that. I know that some of you are in this very chat right now who badmouth me in other chats. I'm not dumb, but I'm nice to you when you're here, right? I'm not naive. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I say. But that doesn't mean we can't be friends. It doesn't mean that you can't be here. I will just tell you this. There are some bad people in this fandom, and there are some of you who are supporting people who are absolutely toxic. They are. It's just how it is, man. And I don't know any other way to tell you that. I'm just telling you, like, it's become an issue. And dang it, I just realized I forgot my coffee in the other room. Dang it, I made that coffee and I completely forgot it in the other room. Anyways, Laser Luke, you're the worst, man. You are the worst. I see you in all these other chats, bad mouthing me. I'm just messing. I'm just messing. Um, but yeah, like, yeah, I see that. You guys think I don't see you? I know who you are. And it surprises me sometimes because some of you will come over here, give super chats to me, and you're supportive of me when you're here, and that's fine, man. Like, like, I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna do any of that. There's people who want me to disavow people and all this stuff, and it's like, I don't do that. But here's the thing: if you attack my friends, then we're gonna have a problem, right? That's it. That's it. And it's just YouTube. It's not important. It's not important. It's really not important. But like, pick your nose if you love the chat. There you go. There you go. You get a little nose pick. Um, it's not important in the bigger scheme of things. But like I said, if we were all sitting here in my room and we're hanging out and all those things, and somebody came in here talking that kind of smack, man, we would kick them out. I think it's time to start kicking out some people who are toxic and who are bringing down the fandom and bringing down people's chats and bringing down people's live streams. And I apologize. I did not mean for that to go that way on Max's stream, and I do apologize. I just need you to understand I've had it. I am tired of people's toxicity, and I'm tired of the word toxic, and I'm tired of the word toxicity, and I'm tired of arguing over James Gunn and Zack Snyder and The Rock and all these DC movies and Marvel movies. I'm tired of all of that stuff. I'm tired of people making it now personal. People are like, well, why didn't Enosh, stream for a while? Well, it's because I just didn't need the stress, to be quite honest with you. I was tired of coming in and I can listen. I can take all this. I can take all this stuff. I've had people. You get on the internet, and people are going to attack you, right? People are going to have a problem with you, and that's fine. But you start saying things about my wife. You start saying things about my kids. Well, guess what? We're going to have a problem. And I can tell you this, if you said those things to my face, you'd need more than 5 days off. You need to take more than 5 days off. I don't mess with my wife. Don't say things about my wife. Don't say things about my kids. And people have... weird things have happened in the last few weeks. People have come at my son, strangely, tried to extort my son who just turned 18. You all know Lil Sus, Landon, and I love that kid to death. But there's people who come at him, and do I think that it's just random when literally people are coming at me, making videos about me, making other YouTube channels about me, trying to twist my words and to make it sound like I'm, something else or whatever, that they're mad because me and William watched Dukes of Hazzard when we were a kid, for God's sake, and, yeah, you crush it. You're right. Thank you, Darkness. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I just need you to understand, like, that wears you down when it's your family and you're dealing with people like literally trying to say, give us $400 or we're going to release some fake pictures. Like, that's what we've been dealing with, right? And we know who it is. We know who you are. There's some things I don't know for sure that they are, but it's awfully strange, isn't it? And so that's just where I'm at. That's why I had to take a break for a while, because it was stressing me out. I was more stressed. Like, I would see things and I would want to stream about it. I would literally start. Tiffany could tell you, I'd be on the couch like trying to put a thumbnail together on my phone or something, and all of a sudden, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that tonight. I just don't want to deal with that tonight. I made the Poindexter Lounge not to go after. I literally had people this week, sending me videos of other people who were mad about the poster for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And listen, I love you. If you're watching, I love you, but I did not create the Poindexter Lounge to create like these big debate things and they wanted me to take them down. Even these people who are harassing me now, I'm not trying to take them down. People are like, release the proof, release the proof. I don't have to. I'm telling you what's going on in my family with that. I don't need to go through all that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to take people down. I'm just telling you, this is me. We've always, my family and I on my channel, we've always been transparent with you. There's some people who don't like that. There's some people who don't believe that. There's a couple of people out there who just hate me because they don't believe that anybody could be. Literally, I've been told, I don't believe anybody could just be that nice and on the up and up. I know for a fact that there have been big YouTubers that I supposedly feuded with before, that in their Discord servers and stuff like that, they would put out things. Hey, whoever this Poindexter Lounge guy is, let's try to find something on him. I'm an open book. Here I am. The worst thing that people have been able to say about me is, oh, that pastor. The pastor said. Thank you, Aaron, and I love you. I love you, Aaron. Aaron has become such a special person in my life. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. But like that's literally been the worst thing that people could say. Oh, the pastor said. People making up fake YouTube accounts mad because I took my dog to the vet and didn't put it in a harness. Well, here in the United States, we don't do that. We don't have, they have stuff like that, but it's not the law. Literally trying to tag. Here's what I love. So I talk about being in Flint. I don't live in the city of Flint, okay? So for all those tagging the city of Flint Police Department, have fun with that. And municipalities, like I don't work for Flint Community Schools. This person has tried to tag Flint Community Schools on Twitter and try to make it like, oh, look at this guy. All because I don't have the same belief about some superheroes. Think about that. Think about that for a second. They're trying to tag the city of Flint police. I don't live in the city of Flint. I have a Flint address, but I don't live in the city of Flint. My church is in the city of Flint. It is. I'm very open about that. I'm open about what we do, right? But I'm not in the city of Flint. But because they think I'm close, they've literally tagged the Flint Police Department trying to go after me for my dog. The law, I had people who are in England who don't understand the laws here in Michigan or the United States. That varies by state. When I would do driving videos, for example, and I would put the camera on me, and they would think that was somehow wrong. You can live stream while doing that as long as you're not messing around with it. And that's but people had a problem with that. Trying to harass me. And you know what? I think somebody said it best. Somebody said it best. Who was it who just said it? Yes, powerful family is a powerful thing. It is. But like somebody just said, yes, Crush It said it best. People are jealous. And especially when you start being popular, let them be jealous. So I just wanted to get this out there. This is just me, folks. This is just me voicing to you because you are all fans of the show. But I don't just look at you as fans. We call you our nerd family because you are our nerd family, and we let you in on a lot of stuff. We take you places with us, for God's sake. We've shown you our life, man. When I surprised Tiffany for her 40th birthday with a trip to Disney and Universal, you guys were there, I included you guys in that fun, surprise thing. When Tiffany and I just renewed our 10-year wedding anniversary vows, you guys were there. The video is up here for you guys to watch. You guys watched my kids grow up on my couch doing movie reviews and trailer reactions and stuff. I don't know how to be anything other than what I am. And yeah, I'm sorry that people don't like that I'm a pastor. People don't like, that I'm literally people, this one person still harassing me because I was a substitute teacher. Well, I'm no longer a substitute teacher. Now I'm a full-time pro teaching assistant. And I work with kids with special needs. I'm just some horrible person, I guess. And I appreciate you all. I just want you to know that. And if you hate watching me, I record it, I guess, and throw it up and try to act like it's something else. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, folks. You need to get help. But that being said, we got a show to do. We got stuff we got to talk about, and I got people in the back that I've kept waiting way too long. So I apologize to them. All right, guys. We got a cool group of people here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Thade. What's up, Thade?
For one, always remember Smallville.
Always remember Smallville. Absolutely.
Two, who do I got to murder around here to get on that Hall of Fame thing?
The Hall of Fame thing's coming up. This year's is locked in. I've already talked to everybody who's in it this year. But hey, Thade.
Dear God, I've been here for nearly 2 years, bro, man.
Yeah, but see, the people who are going in, this is like, so H. Bartz was the first person to go in because me and H. Bartz, we came up with the idea together, right? There were people who hated me on for that because I did a Hall of Fame and they thought that because H. Bartz had given some super chats to the show, people were upset that I.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because RJ said something about my mic.
Your mic does sound weird. It sounds like you're like in a tunnel somewhere. It does sound weird.
Is that better?
Nope. No, it's very airy. It sounds weird.
Is that better?
Nope, it sounds exact the same. I mean, I want to check your settings and come back in. We're going to bring somebody else in. We also have Black Ops. What's up, Black Ops?
Well, hello, people.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
So far, we got Superman and Darkseid in here tonight.
Yeah, I got some words. We all know who's the true winner. I mean, how's Lois doing, buddy? How's Lois? Oh, that's right.
Oh, it hurts.
You know what? I'm going to knock you through that source wall, homeboy.
oh, what was that? Sorry. You're broken. I don't want to talk to you.
Oh, boy. And also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Godfather himself, Prime. He's got the hat. Where's my hat, man? I got my hat here somewhere.
Hey, Enosh, I'll be right back. I'm going to try to fix this microphone problem.
You go fix that, man. You go fix that, bro. I don't know where my cool hat is. I don't know where it's at. Dang it.
Is it a cool hat? I don't think it's a cool hat if you can't find it. If it was a cool hat, it should be readily available.
Prime's wearing it. Prime knows. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Prime, the Godfather. He's on camera tonight. I love it. I love it. Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
What's up with it?
Hey, man. All right. Real quick here, I just want to make sure I'm getting to everything. All right. Hey.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yep.
All right. Cool.
All right. Dad Dude Vince here with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Vince. Says my son had a para when he was younger. Thank you very much. You know what, man? That's the thing, man. Is I love working with kids, man. I love working with the kids every day, and you know, helping them with their math and their reading and all that stuff, man. That stuff, that's what I live for, man. I love that stuff, so it's cool. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate the love, man. You know, like this, it wasn't meant for me to, I don't know, man. I don't know what you mean with everybody's volume. Hold on a second. My settings should be, oh, you know what? I don't know. Here we go. There, that might be better. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you better. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you better now. Yeah, apparently my mic volume got turned down in StreamYard.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, so that was part of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I could still hear myself. I could still hear myself just fine because, you know, my headphones are coming through. But, yeah, apparently that was it. So I apologize to everybody. There you go. So you heard my rant and everything, and it was all probably low and whatever. I don't know. But I want to thank everybody in the chat for your love. You know, I didn't mean to come in here. It wasn't meant to be like some, you know, woe is me kind of thing. But Laser's like, my ears. I turned you up. Now I can hear you.
Finally, I can be heard.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to let y'all talk amongst yourselves for a second. Whatever you want to talk about. You guys know what we're talking about tonight. We got the topic. There's just crazy things going on, man. Like people just hating. Is DC in turmoil? The cult fans absolutely hate James Gunn. They're out for Gunn. They're gunning for Gunn. They're just like now it's just silly. Like Gunn's gonna ruin the whole thing, and they don't even know what he's doing. And every time Gunn tries to answer, now it's that Superman is gonna be in his 30s or something now, and now they're mad about that because why did you screw us over with Cavill and and all this nonsense. And then you got Aquaman testing apparently really bad, and Mira is the shining spot of the whole thing, and Shazam 2 is tracking low. So I'm gonna go get my coffee because I'm gonna have to settle in here. But RJ here with the $4.99 super chat says, much love to you and the fam, Enosh. I'll always have your back, especially when it comes to this situation. Sheep don't scare us. Stay strong. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
Appreciate all the love, guys. So I will be right back. Have fun. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm going to do my shameless shilling. Don't forget to check out Quantum Gaming. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm about to start streaming that actually on Twitch.
Bro, it's so much fun. I know the people that have been watching it on the lounge here have been enjoying it. I mean, it's definitely a phenomenal game and all that. I'm not going to get too much into it other than that because it's definitely a lengthy conversation.
It's going to be a lengthy conversation. Not really, if you pretty much, just nip it out in the bud. I mean, it's really not too much that people have to really say unless you really...
True. It's just a lot of misconceptions and misinformation that led to it all, pretty much. I addressed that in my first episode with streaming it because it had to be addressed because even after that first episode, I did get a bunch of hate comments like DM'd to me and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. I mean, it's what expected for that.
I mean, don't sweat hate. Matter of fact, you can block it out. That's why everybody, just like me, like I say, I be on Twitter. I don't see my tweets. So that's the thing. People can just yell at me or do whatever. I don't see them. So if they're not following me or they're not verified, I can't see them anyway.
I just laughed at him. I just laughed.
So when people do all that hate stuff and all that stuff, see people, but let's, at the topic about the cult and stuff like that, I'll say this. Look, I don't talk about it anymore because I'm done with it. I'll pretty much say to everybody else, look, if you want to be delusional, that is your prerogative. But everything is writing on the wall. All right. See, people need to understand and realize is that business is business. And when you understand business and you know how business works, then you pretty much know how this stuff is going to be. People always trying to come at me talking about, well, what do you mean that you know about business and all this stuff like that? I'm like, look, I have an MBA. All right. So I'm not even worried about what people talking about when it comes down to business. I know about the finances. I know how certain things goes into a boardroom and all this stuff like that. I know how this stuff works. I understand the aesthetics. I understand how everything goes with business. And, that is the main thing. I think pretty much everybody that's in this chat, I think everybody that's on this panel, they understand that the business element comes first. Yes, I can't say everybody, but I think pretty much everybody that's in this room, I think pretty much will we like the Snyderverse and stuff to continue? Absolutely. But you also got to understand with this, there have been TV shows that were on air that were fantastic. And what happened? They got canceled. You got to
Mindhunters.
Yeah, there's plenty of TV shows that got canceled. There's plenty of TV shows they don't
Firefly.
Right. I mean, they get canceled. They don't have the finances to continue the shows. It's the same thing with movies. With this situation or whatever, with this or whatever, they're not looking at it. They're just thinking about, we got the Snyder Cut, so we can get it. No, it's very, very simple. The Snyder Cut was filmed. We had a movement. They made a business decision because they seen that there was an outcry. They had a fan base. They had to get HBO Max off the ground. They had an IP. They put money towards it. They allow Zach to actually do it. And I say it every time.
It cost $70 million to launch to do that, which relatively for what they've done with it. I mean, we still don't got the exact numbers, but I mean, it was a strong business. Oh yeah, it's $70 million for the budget. But I'm talking about in the grand streaming numbers. Like, I mean, I've seen so many different things about it. So even to this day, I still don't know the exact numbers. But the issue I have with this is that everyone thinks they know how the business works or knows how, what their mindset is or how it works. And everyone, it's just like, they still think that David Zaslav is like the king of DC. I was like, bro, why would Zaslav hire James Gunn and Peter Safran to be the CEOs of DC Studios if he was just going to run it? There's a reason why there's a reason why he does these things, because he can have two people that know what they're doing overlook it for him. He just wants to know what the hell's going on.
That's the thing, is that he is the CEO of not DC. He's the CEO of Warner Brothers, right? And so the thing is like, you don't try to run the entire thing yourself. That doesn't make any sense. What you do is no, because you can't run
unless you're Elon Musk,
right? Well, but here's the thing: it's the same people. Like, I'm sorry, if you don't like Kathleen Kennedy or Star Wars or whatever, okay, I get it. It's your right, it's your choice, right? But the thing is, the reality is like people who act like she's just running everything. Or they're like writing scripts and and whatnot, and doing all this stuff. Like, it's just not how it works. And so it's similar in the fact with Zaslav, because Zaslav had to hire people to run DC. And the thing is if you don't think that there was a power play there for a minute in the fall, in the late summer, early fall, where like people are acting like no, The Rock wasn't trying to do anything. It wasn't anything. Like, you can see the power play that was going on there, where people were fighting over, people were trying to get their thing made, $7 productions, and James Gunn and Safran got hired out of nowhere, man. But there were obviously talks going on. There were plans being made. They had asked Gunn, now we know they had asked him to start writing. He's been writing the script now for 6 months to the Superman movie. So they had plans. Look, I've been the biggest Snyder fan that you could I've been in, man. I'm all in. But this nonsense does not represent that. This nonsense of like fighting everything and being a jerk and threatening and coming up with these ridiculous conspiracy theories and people are acting like we're in a movie, like David Zaslav or whoever's in charge of Warner Brothers is just Lex Luthor, man, and that they've got this diabolical plan, and it's just gone so crazy with the conspiracy theories, man, that it's like, oh, their plan is to do this and their plan is to do that, and they got this diabolical plan. It's like, dude was hired to write a movie, and then he was given a job to run a studio. What would you do? If you're a true director, and you got ideas for stuff, like why would you come in and go, well, before we do any of my things, we're gonna do like 2 other movies over here. I get it. Do I like it? No. I would love for the Snyderverse to continue. I would love for these characters to continue the way that they are and to see them fully develop, over a few more movies. But if we can't get that, I'm okay with that too. But stop with the nonsense. Stop with the ridiculousness of it all, and acting like there's like these secret weird things happening behind the scenes that I don't know, man.
What I would say to this whole thing, so people can understand how the divisions work, is that even though David Zaslav is the CEO of Warner Brothers, all right, he was looking for someone to run DC Studios, which is a completely different division of Warner Brothers. They gave DC their own division to run all that. Now, when you hire someone to be the head of a division of an extension part of your studio, this is the thing that people don't understand and not trying to understand. Can Zaslav override anything that James Gunn and them say? Yes, he can. But this the kicker. That would be undermining what he hired them to do.
Right, let them do their job.
That's their job to do what they're supposed to do. Zaslav is not going to interfere with anything that they're doing unless it's something that he completely don't agree with and he think it's egregious, then he might step in. But highly, highly unlikely Zaslav is even going to interfere with anything of that magnitude. He's not. He hired them to do a job. He's going to allow them to do the job, and that's what they're going to do. Because Zaslav mandated, and he stated, look, the Trinity has to be up front. I think Gunn understands that, and that's what they're doing. They're doing it in a different manner. And he said he wants to have an 8 to 10 year plan. That is what Zaslav stated. And I guarantee you that's what he mandated for them to do. And they're following what he wants to do. And he said, look, that's what I want y'all to do. The rest is up to you on how y'all going to run it and give us these outcomes. That's what he basically said. I don't have to be in a room not to know exactly what he basically said. He gave them the power and the reins to do that under 2 conditions. Give me a 10-year plan and run the studio. You ain't got to hear my mouth or anything. Now, there you go. It's not hard. It's not hard at all.
And you know, Crush It brings up a point here. Prime, I don't know how old you are exactly.
46.
Okay, so you're right there. I'm 46 too. Do you remember those days when there was no internet?
Yes.
Right? There was no internet.
I do.
Yeah, Thade, you're older like us too. I know that Jimbo's a little younger than us, but it's okay. Jimbo, how old are you?
I'm at the very old age of 21.
Okay, yeah. So this may not apply to you. But,
So he doesn't remember a time before the internet.
Right. Okay. But
Yeah,
so
sorry.
here's the thing. I remember when I went into a movie and I didn't know who the director was. I didn't know who wrote that movie. I didn't care who the CEO of Warner Brothers was. I didn't care who the producer was on the film. All I went in there with knowing was, hey, here's a Batman movie that I'm going to go watch. And I like Batman.
And the thing about that, Enosh, is it was okay.
Yeah, and you know what?
Okay.
And I read Starlog magazine for like a few months leading up to it to get look at these pictures of Batman. This is going to look pretty cool.
Even more than that, it was thrilling to go to the movie and not already know the damn premise of the movie.
Right. I mean, it was something that you just did, right? And I get that we love movies. You become a cinephile, and you like these certain directors, and I'm not downplaying that. So don't think that I don't understand the ability of that. But nowadays, also, we don't want to be surprised about anything. We demand if a movie. Hold on just a second. If a movie puts out a trailer and it doesn't show us the entire movie and every plot line and every secret thing that could possibly be in that movie, and we don't know it before it comes out, we act like the movie's going to suck. It's a horrible thing. It's bad. And Crush It brings up a good point here. And I've thought about this. I have thought so much about this, especially with the movies that they're talking about and like that they're building up to something over 10 years. He's like, what if James had a plan to surprise us? Maybe he talked with Henry to keep it like Henry isn't playing Superman. But when we see the first trailer, we see Cavill. Okay, now I don't think that Cavill will be in his Superman movie, okay? I don't think that that's the surprise. But I will say this. I do think that there might be something planned for later on down the line.
I agree.
If there's this multiverse thing and crossover thing, and they're gonna do, and they want to do a crisis, type event. Well, if you're gonna do a crisis type event, what is it? Crisis on what?
Infinite Earths.
Infinite Earths.
But that's the thing.
So why wouldn't you?
James
he's
said
already
he
said
spoke.
we didn't fire him. They've said it. Like he came right out and said, well, we didn't fire him.
James said he spoke to Henry and to bring him onto a project later on. He even said it in his tweets.
Yes, and they act like these people are all taking this like personally.
Well, like I saw this,
we're taking it more personally than they are, right?
I saw an article earlier, and this is the problem with the traits. I saw an article earlier that's talking about. They straight up said, "Well, Henry's pissed because DC fired him, and Marvel hasn't hit him up for anything, even though there's been negotiations." So now he's going to Sony to play Spider UK or whatever.
He's working on Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
And
I was
he's
about
it,
to say. He
and
wasn't
he's
on Warhammer.
running the Amazon's Warhammer thing. He's executive producer.
See, that's
Oh
the
my
thing.
gosh. Toronto Freddy here with a Canadian $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy. This guy's awesome. Check out Toronto Freddy on Instagram. He is fantastic. He helped us celebrate Tiffany's birthday this year because I surprised Tiffany with a we're going to go in May to go see Alice Cooper in Indiana.
Okay.
And so Alice Cooper played Freddy Krueger's dad in New Nightmare, or not New Nightmare. I'm sorry. Freddy's Dead.
Yeah.
And Toronto Freddy looks great as Freddy Krueger. He does karaoke as Freddy Krueger. And so he did Welcome to My Nightmare, and he sent a special message to Tiffany as Freddy Krueger that I got to play for her, and it was awesome. And so thank you, Toronto Freddy. He's awesome. I appreciate it.
By the way, Prime, I was going to say to you, it looks like you and I come from like similar genetics because we're in our 40s and don't look like we're in our 40s.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, look, I don't look like I'm nearly 50, guys. I will be 50 in a year.
Hey, oh yeah, you don't look 50, bro. You don't look 50 coming up.
It's all right. Just know in the bottom of your hearts, you guys are, cobwebs. It's all right.
Well, I make this
I'm just
joke.
saying, I miss the days. I just miss the days when okay. And I guess it comes from like, I look on social media, right? And I see people telling people who real DC fans are and who DC fans aren't. And the funny thing is they think that they've got the market cornered on what a DC fan is. These Snyder, I don't want to, they've hijacked the fandom, I feel, because, a year or two ago, we were doing positive things, man. For the last 4 years before that, we were doing people were doing positive things.
Because the Snyderverse has been at a standstill.
Right,
that's why.
But people were making positive strides. That we raised almost like $1 million for AFSP. And people were doing awesome things, coming together. There were fun streams. There were banners going up. Hold on a second. There were banners going up. There were things that were happening. It was awesome. And now it's been kind of hijacked, and it's all about personalities. It's all about, hey, look at me. It's all about, look what I'm doing. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then on top of that, so these Snyder fans now are over here. And I say these Snyder fans because the Snyder fandom is fractured and it's in different pieces. It's like Crisis on Infinite Snyderverses now. I mean, so you got these people over here, and they're all in these groups, and and I'll even show you something right now because I'll show you a few of them.
Well, can I say something really quick before you continue on?
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, the problem we are having here, and I agree with William wholeheartedly, is that there was no closure. And that's why they're holding on to it so much. It's like losing a family member and not getting to see them, closed casket and everything else. You don't really think they're in the casket, okay?
Right.
Well, that's kind of what, and keep in mind, I'm outside of the Snyder fandom. I love the Snyder stuff. I did. But I don't consider myself a fan of anything. Fan denotes fanatic. I'm not a fanatic. Now, do I like comic book movies? Yes, I've been in the comic book business, in and out of the comic book business for 40 years. Okay, working in shops. I've had friends owning shops. I've been reading comics since I was 7 years old. Okay, I've been in and around this kind of thing, the nerd sphere, for 40 years of my life. Okay, and I remember those days you're talking about, Enosh. I remember the days where we could go to a comic book store or to a game store and we could chat about anything. And even if we didn't agree with each other, we were good.
Dude, that's why I started Poindexter Lounge. Do you understand that? Like, literally, the Poindexter Lounge started because my toy guy that Tiffany and I, went and bought toys at and stuff and talked to and everything like that, we would get together and we would talk for hours around this little table. And Tiffany told my friend Andrew, who runs that place, she said, you know what you should do? Here's what you should do. You guys should get some coffee pots. You guys should get some bar stools. And then you should make up this whole little thing around here and call it the Poindexter Lounge because it's a place for nerds. And we all kind of laughed about it. And Andrew was like, yeah, no, that's funny. But, I'm not going to, do all that. And then when it came time that we needed to come up with a name for the channel, we were trying to figure, like, what do we call it, right? It's nerd something. We went through all these names. And Tiffany said, why don't you just call it Poindexter Lounge? Because that's what we talked about before and we laughed about and had a good time about. And I went, oh, yeah. And that's why we started, because it was literally just a place where it's not just me, when I say, TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, super, heroes, like, yeah, it's become like a mantra now because that's what we started it for, was just to shoot the crap, and
the problem with the
what's a Poindexter? I still get that. Poindexter is a term for a nerd. That's what it is.
Yeah, it actually comes from the movie Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
There was a character called Poindexter. He was very nerdy.
I was gonna say that.
and this is a movie from the 80s, guys who don't know.
Remember the song "Bust a Move"?
Yeah.
Right. It's like
Yes.
you were just standing there like Poindexter, right? Like that was the and it's all in pop culture stuff, and I've got.
Let's see, and here's the thing. Here's the
stuff.
thing. But what I'm trying to say is, look, this all got twisted when the social media came in, and we could all, like, too many people have taken what we used to enjoy back in those shops back in the day, or sitting around the table at lunch, because a lot of us had that table,
Yeah.
and where we would discuss all this stuff and be nerdy about it and everything, even if we didn't agree with each other. Now a lot of people are taking it too much to heart. Okay, a lot of people are taking all of it, like, they get butthurt over the smallest things. Look, and I've been told here lately, especially on Twitter, oh, well, you're just what's the word? You're just copping out when I say, just let the art be art. Okay, just let it be what it is. Okay, stop the boycotts, stop the hashtags, stop it. Okay, I get it. You love the stuff, and it's okay to love these things. But don't love them to the extension where you're fighting other people over it.
It's pointless. It really is pointless to be arguing with people over this stuff. Like, it's fun to debate. Okay, I'm all for debating. Like that's fun, man. It's like when we get in nerd debates over stuff, and it's
like you and William the other night.
Yeah, just like me and William the other night. Right? I mean, that stuff is fun. Okay, and I can appreciate that. But when we start taking things personally, when we start then trying to attack people, when we start trying to go after people, and and all that nonsense, like, who are we then?
Well, here's my eyes, everybody, and I'm going to make everybody on this panel a promise, and everybody in that chat a promise. I will never attack you over something you like. Okay? I will never come at you over some nerd stuff, because it's not worth my time. If you guys want to come chat with me, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm usually lurking around with William doing his show. Okay? I am here if you guys want to discuss anything, because I'm cool with that. I am still holding that nerd table back in the day, okay? I am still that guy.
You can come to my table, Starlog magazine, and being like, "Hey, is the Batman movie going to be any good?"
And that's the problem, Blake. Blake Taylor says down here, if you could bring up this chat, the bottom one. We live in a sensitive world nowadays, State. It's sad because friendships will end over things so small. That is so true, and that is unfortunate.
That's true.
Why do we let this happen? We shouldn't be letting this happen.
Because we're in a sensitive society now. See, we grew up in the age that wasn't like that. That's like it's not. We can't register.
You know what I want to know? You want to know what I want to know? How did a generation that got raised on South Park and Family Guy get this sensitive?
Thank you, but I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
Listen, here's the thing. We don't always have to agree on stuff, right? So, like, Prime, for example, I'm just going to be absolutely transparent, right? So Prime says things sometimes that I know that he's being blunt. He is speaking his piece. He's speaking what he believes. We have some differences of opinions, maybe on religion. We have some difference of opinions on maybe the context of religion stuff. I've seen him post stuff like that. I just go, okay, but here's the thing. I like Prime. Okay?
And that's okay.
I like his takes on stuff, right?
You can like a person.
Well, here, let me just, like, that's the thing is I can separate the things that I agree with somebody from the things that I disagree with somebody. And it doesn't mean that it's like, oh, well, I'm offended by this or that, so I'm not going to have this person on or whatever. I mean, I do agree that, like, we have to have a candor about stuff, right? And how we approach stuff. But the thing is like, even in that, I'm not afraid of opinions. I'm not afraid of somebody's thoughts on something. And why would I try to control that? You know what I mean? Like I literally left a church over the fact that somebody got mad that somebody said penis on my show.
Well, it's
right?
like,
and
okay.
I don't care. I don't care because I'm not going to try to shut people up and try to control people like that. But again, I want us to, I agree with you, Thade, in the fact that it's really weird that we're in this place now where everybody is so just worried about getting offended. Everybody is just so worried about words and they think this and they think that. And I'm just being honest with you, Thade. I just don't care anymore about this stuff. These people who just can't get past themselves, for what?
Well, it's like I've said.
That somebody else has a differing opinion. Well,
it's like I've said in the past,
too bad.
You guys know my opinion of DC. I've made it pretty goddamn clear. Okay, I think that Warner's been screwing DC movies over for 30 years. Okay,
I agree.
There's been a handful of movies that were good, but a handful isn't. Marvel made it because Marvel has more than enough movies that are at least bottom line enough that the general population love them. Okay. Now, do all of them hit? Do all of them slap? No. And I don't like everything Marvel. I pick, people call me a Marvel shill. I'm not. I cherry pick the stuff I want to bother with Marvel. Okay. And if I need to know something of a story of something I didn't watch, then I've got YouTube for that. Okay.
Right.
I will go and spoil a movie for myself if I don't plan on watching it. Okay. Just to get that information. But here's the thing. They take it too serious. And here we are killing each other over this stuff, and we shouldn't be. I mean, look at this section, like our section of YouTube. It's a minefield out there, guys. Minefield.
For sure. Look at this. So periodically, I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I've come across here in
I'll
the
be right
last
back,
little
guys.
while. So this was something, showed the Man of Steel original timeline, then Flashpoint. First of all, nobody needs to be getting upset over Flashpoint.
First of all, this is a stupid comparison,
right?
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Man of Steel is 10 years old.
Yep.
They're going to look. Michael Shannon is going to look different.
Yep. But Prime, you and I both know because you and I are both comic book readers. Now I get flack from people sometimes because they're like, oh, well, Enosh says that if you don't read the comic books, that your opinion doesn't matter. Well, you know what? I agree to a point that your opinion should still matter, but if you don't understand the basics that are set up in the comics for these characters and these stories that are transcribed into movies or television shows, then you have no basis of getting pissed off about it. You just don't. You got to understand, like this is a loosely based Flashpoint film, right?
Yes.
If you don't know what Flashpoint is, then you need to educate yourself before you start going off on rants. The whole point of a Flashpoint, and you know this, Prime, and anybody who reads comic books knows this, I'm sure Thade knows this, the Flashpoint timeline should be different.
Yes, absolutely.
If it's a Flashpoint thing that something gets messed up, then yes, something like Supergirl being the main character fighting Zod would happen. That's the point.
By the way, and this was a point I made on Brodan's show last night. The look for Sasha Collier's Supergirl is Laura Lane Kent.
Yes.
And I pulled up the picture. It's exactly the look. That is the child of Superman.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like, look, and I agree, Fourth 1000. People should be able to feel however they want to feel. I think what's missed sometimes is those of us who are doing it, like to get bombarded by people, attacked by people and stuff like that. But again, this is why though DC has such a hard uphill climb, and I'm really worried about the future of DC. And I say this because I'm a DC fan. Okay. So when people don't understand that like Flashpoint should be different, so it's okay that there's a Supergirl in this and that they're kind of loosely kind of like, playing around with that and stuff. It's like, what is Zod's the questions that we should be asking are like the old school questions, right, guys? That like we would be asking if we didn't have the internet and stuff. And like you read Starlog magazine Prime, and you and I got together, and we were just like talking, outside, one day, and we're just like, hey man, that new Flash movie's coming out. That's gonna be really weird. Like, what is Zod's motivation? Because in Man of Steel, Zod's motivation was Kal-El sets off the beacon and everything, and that brings Zod here. So what happens here? Like, it looks like Supergirl is being imprisoned, kind of, but it looks kind of like a Russian thing, kind of like the Red Daughter kind of thing, Red Sun kind of thing. What's going on here? And Batman and Flash are there to kind of get her out of there, right? So like, do they find the fortress? Do they set off another beacon? Is Zod maybe here because I even saw one thing that I was like, this is awesome. That's speculation. It's all cool. It's like maybe he's here for Kara because Krypton didn't explode, and so maybe he's just here as a representative of Krypton, thinking that the Earth has somehow captured her or something. Like,
that's a good thing. I didn't think of that.
Well, also remember they find her.
I saw this whole thing that said, "What if Zod is not a bad guy in this movie?" And I went, "Oh, what if?"
I have a point to make
because
really
I love.
quick.
Hold on a second. I love the way that Zack Snyder set up Zod, because you can be upset at Zod in Man of Steel, but you feel Zod's pressure, that he was created with a specific thing in mind, that his DNA actually pushes him to save Krypton, to promote Krypton, to make sure that Krypton is protected and Krypton rises and Krypton comes back, and he cannot allow Kal-El to destroy that. So he reaches out to Kal-El, trying to get Kal-El to join him because Jor-El rejected him. And when he doesn't, he says, okay, I'm going to terraform this planet. I'm going to kill everybody on this planet. Not just because he's just inherently bad, but simply because his thing is to bring Krypton back. So my question is how does that relate to this movie? Right? Those are all fun things to speculate about. But instead, we got people in this chat saying things like, well, of course, bring back Cavill. I want Cavill back too. But then Zod's CGI face looks bad by today's standards. It was literally the first trailer. We don't even know. And then like stuff like Man of Steel, Man of Steel. Same, not going. Fire James Gunn. I'm somebody's says, I'm guessing you've never seen Flashpoint, right? And then it's like, well, it's like, replacing mango with coconut. I'm sure this has nothing to do with Gunn, but I'm not happy that one of the greatest and coolest DC storylines doesn't have Man of Steel. At least they could have showed Man of Steel in prison, like the animated movie. Dude, Flashpoint sets the dream of Bruce Wayne's first nightmare. Well, but here's the thing. It's a different movie. Everything, folks, doesn't have to be exactly the way it was in a comic, and everything doesn't, but they're playing with it. But if we go watch The Flash and it sucks, I will be the first person here, Prime, to tell you that I think it sucks, right? To just do a thing and go, you know what? I did not like that at all. I didn't like what they did with the story. It just did not work for me. I'm sorry. Thank you, but no thank you. But until we see it, why curse it?
Well, this the thing.
All right, hold on really quick, Prime. Hold on.
Go ahead.
The way they find Supergirl in the trailer is just like when they found the Thin Man, what they called the Thin Man in Flashpoint, which was Kal-El, but he was starved. Okay, that's one too. I've got a picture I can share if you don't mind, Enosh.
Oh, you got it there ready to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. Let me share.
Well, while he's looking that up.
Yes, go ahead, Prime.
He's going ahead and he's looking that up. The only thing that
I've got it. It's ready to go whenever he's ready.
Yeah. You go ahead, Prime. Go ahead, Prime, while you're thinking about it. Yeah.
Quick. But people just need to understand. Just the thing that people fail to understand, and what I'll be trying to say to people is this: okay, if you are a DC person, there's a lot of people. That's why I categorize people. That, like I say. And I look at from my experiences and what I see. If you are a DC person and you know DC and you really know DC, who don't know Flashpoint?
Right.
Who does not know Flashpoint? If you are a DC person like you say you are, you need to know what Flashpoint is.
Probably one of the best storylines from the last 10 years.
Thank you. Because everybody knows this, and this is the only thing, and this is all I got to say. For the people that don't know this, all right? Elseworld Stories. Oops, my bad. Elseworld Stories. Yeah, my girl is texting me. Elseworld Stories, all right, only came into fruition right after Infinite Crisis. Right after Infinite Crisis, a lot of stuff at DC happened. We got Elseworlds, and then we got the New 52. And that Flashpoint. The Flashpoint is what made the New 52.
Actually, you're wrong there. There were Elseworlds before Infinite Crisis.
What?
Because you had speeding bullets.
You
had the nail. You had a whole lot of other Elseworlds.
Yeah, that goes back to the 90s, Prime.
Mid 90s.
Yeah.
The mid 90s was
Speeding Bullets came out right around the time of the death of Superman. Well, actually, Reign of Superman is when Speeding Bullets came out, and then they came out with Red Sun. Red Sun was in the 90s.
Hold on a second, Enosh. The first set of Elseworld stories was a set of annuals for I think 93 or 94, and they were all Elseworlds of each of the characters, and the annuals were called Elseworlds. Well, when people decided they liked those, they started making it a separate imprint and started doing separate stories. Then you got things like Gotham by Gaslight. You got things like Flashpoint. You got things like Speeding Bullets. You got things like Last Son of Krypton. Right. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Red Sun.
Okay. Yeah, so Red, that's what I'm saying.
In fact,
so
I subscribe to DC. I subscribe to DC Universe Infinite, which you can go back all the way to the 40s and read comic books off of this thing.
Yeah.
And I've got it for a year, and I've already what's been bringing me back to DC is reading Elseworld stories. The main continuity doesn't bring me back to DC. It's the Elseworld stories that are interesting.
That's a good thing that you said that, because I tell people all this. Pretty much a lot of stories from DC is not. Don't get me wrong. Continuity got some good stuff in it.
Oh man, one of my favorite books. Go ahead, Prime. I'm
right. Continuity got some good books. Don't get me wrong, but DC hits very, very hard with Elseworld stories. That's where all the big hitters come at. Like you said, Rez, the ones that you said there, I didn't even know about those. So that's my thing. I'm an aficionado, and I didn't even know about that. So that's my mistake. I got to go back and look at that. I didn't even know those.
The original.
I just knew something. Go ahead.
I've got another thing to share after he shows the Supergirl picture.
Okay. But yeah, like some of the Elseworld stories that are big time Elseworlds, of course, we got Red Sun, we got Injustice, we got Deceased, we got Batman the Dark Knight, we got The Killing Joke, which is overrated in my estimation, and
Red Rain.
You said what? Yeah, Red
Rain. Batman Red Rain when he was a vampire.
Right. So there's a lot of great Elseworld stories that are out there. So you know what? Speeding Bullets, I need to read that. You know what? I probably did read that and just don't remember the name.
Speeding Bullets was the one where he was raised by Martha and Thomas Wayne, and he becomes Batman.
The action figure now.
Oh, that's Speeding Bullet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did read that.
And Lex Luthor becomes the Joker.
Yeah, I did read that one. Okay, I did. See, it's been so long since I read it, and they don't really pop it up.
Dude, when it comes to the comics, Prime, just ask. Like I said, I've been reading comic books since the early '80s. So, in fact, my very first comic books I ever owned, it was a 3-part miniseries. It was called The Untold Tale of the Batman, and it was an Elseworld story before there was Elseworlds, but that Batman's father Thomas was the first Batman.
Okay. No, yeah.
No, can you share that?
Yeah, I will just a second. So that's absolutely true. Elseworlds has been around for a long time. There's actually an action figure that I have of the Speeding Bullets Superman, because he's Batman, and so it's one of my favorite figures now. But have you guys read this?
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is an awesome storyline. Have you read all of the Dark Multiverse? Have you read all the Dark Multiverse?
Not all of it. I read a couple other ones, and I wasn't as impressed.
The Nightfall one is really good.
Yes, I heard that's good. But this right here, folks, if you read the Death of Superman,
that story hurt my heart, dude. That story right there.
This right here is a kick in the balls. As a companion to Death of Superman. as far as being in the dark multiverse. I will just tell you,
I never read that.
Dude, Prime.
Is that Kara? Is that Kara?
No, that's Lois.
That's Lois?
It tells an Elseworld story of what happened after the death of Superman.
Oh, shit.
Dude.
Hold on. Is it on Infinite? Because I got it.
Yes, it's on DC Infinite, yes.
I'm telling
it's
you
under
right
Dark
now.
Multiverse.
I'm telling you right now, Prime. Prime, this will kick you in the gut because of what happens in this. You're going along and you're like,
Fett changed Lois.
Well, she becomes bitter. She becomes bitter.
She becomes very bitter because she's angry that Superman had to sacrifice himself for everyone, and she ends up going to the fortress. Spoiler alert: you can see that she's in the outfit.
Yeah.
Right. And so she's like, you know what? Superman dealt with all you guys' BS. I'm not going to.
Oh, I gotta read this shit. Oh,
dude,
my God.
And I will just say this.
Oh,
yeah, dude. She starts taking care of stuff.
She gets her powers from the Eradicator.
Yeah, she gets her powers from the Eradicator.
Oh, hell, I'm reading that shit tonight.
And I'm just saying, this is a throwback, but
she barbecues Lex Luthor.
Red-haired Lex Luthor gets what's coming to him.
She barbecues his ass.
I will not tell you the end though, because it's gut wrenching.
It's on tonight. I'm watching.
Dude, and I would love to hear, maybe we do a video together, man, after you read this. Because
Prime. Also, read Dark Knights of Steel. It's only at issue number 9 right now. It's only to issue number 9 right now. It's a 12-issue miniseries, but it is amazing.
Yeah, so let me here real quick get to a couple things, and then I'll bring up your thing, Tate. Fourth 1000 with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Fourth 1000. Says, that's why I mentioned Supergirl can join Zod to rebuild Krypton, since Supergirl was held captive by humans her whole life and end the planet. Wouldn't that be a twist?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Right, but then something awakens in Supergirl, and in Kara, and she's like, no. You know what I mean? Like, all humans aren't bad. All humans aren't doing it. A certain group of people did this, but Zod's like, no, you are a daughter of Krypton. I will defend Krypton, and it's on, right? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, but the thing is like, thinking that this somehow undoes Krypton. Well, guess what? I got this comic book, and it doesn't undo the reign of Superman and like the good that came back, and Superman coming back and being Superman again and all those things. But it's an Elseworld story. It's a multiverse story. And we as DC fans should be appreciating multiverse stories, for God's sake.
And to be honest with you, Elseworld stories is where DC really hits.
Yes.
Elseworld
seeing
stories
these
is where
characters
DC hits, man. I mean, like, okay, for instance, I got a lot of people last year because they were sleeping on it. I think I got Enosh into it. I told everybody to read Deceased.
Mm-hmm.
And when everybody read Deceased, if you read Deceased, it's really going to put you through a whirlwind, and it will literally put you on a journey. All I would tell y'all, everybody, is this: in the first book, Bruce is taken out. Okay? Bruce is taken out.
But how are you going to kill Batman? How are you going to take Bruce out like that? He's Batman. You can't have DC without Batman, Prime. He's Batman. This sucks. Boycott. Get rid of DC. Who wrote this crap? Get rid of it. Fire him now. Hashtag fire whoever wrote Deceased.
And people did that. There was a lot of people that was mad because they took Bruce out early. I'm like, don't y'all understand the significance that it's just the simple fact is that Bruce got taken out just like that.
But Batman would always have a contingency plan, Prime.
Right.
Batman wouldn't be taken out like that.
But
I never want to see a story where Batman could possibly be taken out like that.
And the kicker is that before he even died, they luckily that he found out just that quick what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
In the scene.
Enosh, after you show that Supergirl picture, I have another thing to show just real quick.
Okay, yeah, no problem. No, gosh, man. Okay, Rational Skeptic here with a $10 super chat says, Enosh and panel, if Ezra's Flash ends up in a new universe, then that means that the scene in BVS where he warns Batfleck of Darkseid's multiverse invasion won't happen. Isn't that a plot hole? No, because you got to remember, Rational. See, this is where I think sometimes we forget, like, how timelines work, right? So if something changes in the Flash's world and he ends, and Ezra's character ends up in another world, all it's done is spark off into another dimension. It doesn't mean that it can't ever happen. It doesn't mean that it can't ever be undone. Remember Back to the Future? Back to the Future 2, guys. Main timeline, split in the timeline, new timeline. All you got to do is go and fix it. It's just how it works, right? And so sometimes a story is just a story, but you got to remember we're talking about comic book stories here, which means that anything can happen that they want to happen.
Yes.
So just because this Flash ends up in another universe, maybe like with different people or whatever, it doesn't mean that can't ever happen. It just means that it's probably in a different situation, and God only knows what happened to get him there. You know, I mean, does that make sense? I think it should make sense. Okay, so here's what they wanted to show, and yeah, but again, I've seen people Thade being really ticked off about this because they say, well, this was a dream, this was not something real, and also this was Lois and Superman's daughter, not Kara. This is not Kara, or Kara, whatever you want to call her.
But
Kara.
It's actually Kara. It's Kara in the movie.
Yeah, I know it is Kara. So this is not Kara.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, look.
But they're going for the look.
It's the look is what I'm saying. Like,
it's
and
obvious.
Besides that story was not a dream. That was an Elseworlds tale.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like they're taking aesthetics. They don't get mad at Zack Snyder when he takes aesthetics from different stories and puts them all together in one movie. Look, I love BVS, right? But BVS has like all kinds of comic books all mixed up into one.
Whole panels out of Dark Knight Returns.
That's what I'm saying. You got Dark Knight Returns. Yeah. You got the Death and Return of Superman. You got God knows what else, man. I'm trying to think right now. But I mean,
Trinity.
You know what I mean. Yeah,
you've got Trinity, you've got the Death and Rebirth of Superman, you've got Dark Knight Returns, Superman Birthright.
There's like all kinds of stuff going on there.
There's 6 storylines in that movie. 6.
But people don't complain about it if Zack Snyder does it. But if another director does it, I mean, I got a question for all these people who have splintered off into these different ways of thinking and stuff. So, do you really think that Andy Muschietti has some devious plan and is just like out to get Zack Snyder? I mean, everything is they're disrespecting Zack Snyder.
He loves the Snyderverse.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm so tired of hearing they're disrespecting Zack Snyder on purpose. Look at what they're doing. They're disrespecting him, man. They're just trying to undo what he did and stuff. Listen, yes, at one point,
everybody, Watchmen is an Elseworld story.
Well, listen, we had people at one point who were in here who famously did not care for Zack Snyder. Okay?
And that's fine.
But here's the thing. Trying to now put that onto the new regime of people because you're mad about the old day, just because they didn't give you what you want, acting like they're evil. Like I've literally seen this is a fight between good and evil. Like if you're a Snyder fan and you're fighting for the Snyderverse, you're fighting for good. And anybody who wants anything else is evil. And I'm sorry, it's hyperbole at its worst, man. I can't do it anymore.
You see the other thing I'm sharing there? Okay, these right here, these let me go over there. Hold on. Okay, these worlds, these annuals right here were the original Elseworlds titles.
Okay, so I thought they were just regular Teen Titans books.
No, you had Teen Titans. You had one for Robin. You had New Titans. There was one for Superman. There were like 20 of them that were done in its specific year. The one for Batman had Pirate Batman in it. You had Guy Gardner Warrior.
Yeah, I know about that.
But a lot of the Elseworlds were these annuals right here, and they came out in 92. They came out from 92 to 94.
It's like I say, it's so many books. I read so many books. There's some books I just missed.
Yeah,
because you got to remember in the 90s it was so convoluted.
Yeah.
So I didn't get everything, It was convoluted in the 90s.
Where is it? That's Speeding Bullets right there.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's
I said,
Speeding
I read
Bullets
the
right
story.
there,
I
Prime.
just didn't really. Yeah. That's what I said. I
great
read
book.
the story. I just did right. That's why I said Superman. I just had to know the number. And once you said that, now, once you said what it was, now.
In fact, before Red Sun, that was my favorite Superman Elseworlds right there.
You know what? They neck and neck, to be honest. I mean, you know what? I take that back. No, they neck and neck. They neck and neck.
Hell, they even did a Lovecraftian Elseworlds called The Doom That Came to Gotham. Oh, this one's cool too. Men in Darkest Night, which where Bruce becomes a lantern.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I never read it.
This one is good too. Superman Cal. It's a medieval story. Then you have. Let's see. You have Gotham by Night, which is one just about everybody knows.
Gotham by I know about that one. Yeah, people.
I agree, Yusef.
Like
I agree with Yusef. Boycotts are stupid at this point. If you're a DC fan, why not embrace things and go watch it and see if you like it, and not worry about all this stuff. But Crush It here says, Enosh, would you like this version of Supergirl to continue, or would you like a younger Supergirl, like the one that's a teenager in a skirt with blonde hair? This is the one I know the most. Look, I love the kind of the stereotypical Supergirl who's in a similar suit to Superman, except for she's got the red skirt and the blonde hair. Even when they brought in the Matrix alien, around the time of the death of Superman, that look for Supergirl right there is like my classic Supergirl look. But here's the thing: am I interested in seeing stories if she's a well-written character that does really well as Supergirl here? Look, we just got done with a Supergirl show that honestly was complete garbage from season 2 on. Okay, can we be honest? Like, it was pure propaganda.
You know what? I would say this. I'll say this. You have your opinion. Okay, Supergirl was cool. My opinion is this: after season 3, when you got to the beginning of season 4, that's when it started to fall off for me. For Supergirl, it started to fall off for me. For 4, season 4 started to fall off for me when I watched it, because people forget Supergirl, when it started the show, just a quick synopsis, it started off on CBS.
Yeah.
And the only reason why, because even though it started off good, the ratings went down. And for the budget that they had, they were spending too much money. So the CW picked it up. You can tell the difference between the two. If you watch the first season of Supergirl, you can tell, oh my God.
The first season of Supergirl kicks, man.
Yes, you can tell.
I loved the first season of Supergirl. The first season of Supergirl was great until the last episode, when they started that whole thing of like Superman was like mind controlled because he was raised on Earth. When like if you were Kryptonian, you were supposed to be, not be able to be mind controlled, but like literally the line was, well, he must have watched too much Sesame Street. That's BS. Like that ticked me off a little bit. And when they started like making it out that that Superman was basically weaker, and I get it, in the comic books Supergirl is supposed to be stronger, but Superman, the fact that he had 10 years of experience up on her, like it always, that counts for something. And they just had this whole thing of
Enosh, can I share that one last thing? Just hate to occupy you, but I just want to share this one last thing for everybody.
Yeah, and then I got to move on because I got some other stuff to share. So
this right here, this Dark Knights of Steel storyline has been my favorite Elseworlds so far, though, and this is brand new. This started last year.
Yes, that is excellent. Now that's good as hell. That's tight.
It's medieval, and it's like different kingdoms. And dude, it's up to issue 9 of a 12-issue miniseries. And it is really, really good. And all of the art is like the stained glass stuff right here. It's really nice. So anybody that gets a chance, check out Dark Knights of Steel. It's a really good series.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. It's a good series, though.
Yeah, Crush It. Now they're talking. James Gunn is kind of walking it back a little bit, that his Superman may not be like, 20s. You know,
he said closer to 30s.
Yeah, he said closer to 30s now. So I'm cool with that. You know, but we got to wait and see, right? You know, and like, you know, we'll see. I mean, but Supergirl is technically older than Clark.
Yeah, yes.
You know, so
yeah.
so it depends upon how they present it. Dad Do Vince with the $2 super chat says rejoined on Twitch. Does StreamYard show this? Yes. Where is it? Where are you at? Hold on a second. I found
my
it.
only thing would be
You're right here, buddy. There you go.
My only thing would be is that
I remember when. Hold on a second. I remember when we first met Vince, and he was Street Corner Becky, and we thought it was an episode of 2 Cents on Nonsense, and I thought it was hilarious. His name was hilarious. I remember when you found us, bro. So it's good to have you, man. Okay, go ahead.
What I was saying is that the only thing that I would say this is that the reason why they have not Sasha Kane, or what's her name? I can't think of her name.
Sasha
Akaye.
Sasha
The reason why they have her is because they want to diversify with characters on the big screen.
Sure.
Okay. That's the only reason why. And they're going to use basically what they're going to do. They're going to use the Elseworld one to diversify. It's basically they want to bring in, you know, so they can bring in different cultures so they can watch it. So since she's Latin, they want to bring a Latin audience. So they're going to use her and make her Kara. That's what they're doing. It's the same thing with a lot of stuff that they do. All right. Because when they first announced her, I was like, wait a minute. They're going to use the Elseworld, the Kent one, and make her Kara? And I was like, that's probably what they're going to do. And that's exactly what they did. So I'm like, hey, it is what it is on how they do things in Hollywood. It's not a problem. But again, they have their reasons on why they do it. So
yeah,
hey.
and see, it's stuff like this, and then we want to go to this other story, but like, okay, so you got like, our strategy is clear. We'll not give WBD money and clout.
They a lie. They're gonna do it. If you
support the competition,
person, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah, number one, support the competition. Hashtag boycott Shazam 2. Wait a week and see hashtag John Wick 4, which by the way is by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
God in heaven. Dear God in heaven. Don't go see Shazam. Go see Warner, or go see John Wick 4, right? Also by Warner Brothers. Boycott hashtag The Flush, as it is a movie leading over to the Gunn verse. Number 2, they got 2 number 2s. Look at that, they got 2 number 2s. It's hilarious. It's number 1, support the competition. Boycott Shazam 2. Wait a week and see John Wick 4. Number 2, boycott hashtag The Flush, as it is a movie leading to the Gunn verse. Number 2, or what we would call number 3, don't buy DC products. Hashtag boycott WBD, hashtag boycott DCU, hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix. Now, I've said all along, if you want to campaign for them to sell the rights to Zack Snyder's Justice League verse over to Netflix, that's fine. I don't think it's probable. I mean, it could happen, but the amount of money that it would take to do, I think, makes it very improbable that it would ever happen unless it was an animated thing. And we've talked about that.
Right. You know, but to say that, just giving it one question and one thing.
Yeah.
Only, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not probable. It will never happen. All right. People fail to realize this, is that Netflix is a streaming service. They don't make money. If you don't sign up for subscriptions for Netflix, that's how they make their money. How you going to get another IP from another company that's billions and billions of dollars? Just the thing that they don't understand. They just thinking that somebody can just take the properties. No, it don't happen like that. It do not work like that. So that's why I say, when I ran out and I say the stuff that I say, I'm speaking from a business mind. They're delusional. They don't know business. I know business. That's what I do. You're not going to have an IP that does theatrical, and you're going to have a streaming service to take over an IP. That's not going to
Well,
happen.
and boycotting everything isn't going to work, and we know this because here's the thing: is those people in the boardroom, those people making these decisions, they don't get into all these, you like this verse, you like that verse, whatever. All they know is hey, if you boycott the Flash and it fails, or you boycott Shazam and it fails, you boycott Aquaman and it fails, and here's the thing: they're going to go, well, then why are we investing in DC movies? If nobody's going to see the DC movies, right? They're not going to invest in them. Now, some people are like, well, that's awesome because then they'll get rid of James Gunn and then we'll get our way. No, you won't get your way.
Work like that.
What you're going to do is you're going to set it up where there's nothing. And some people, and if you're at the point where you're just like, well, I don't care. That's what I'd rather have nothing than have, then.
But Enoch, they fail to realize, this is why I say they're delusional. The general casual audience outweighs the general audience. They outnumber the actual fans like 3-1. They're going to cater this stuff to the general audience. What do you think you get the bulk of your money? It's not from fans. It's from the general audience. So those people are there to be entertained.
We are literally the 1%.
You said what?
We're literally the 1%.
Exactly. The general casual audience is where you get all your money. It's not the fans. And they don't understand that. If you are a true fan of DC, you are going to support it. You don't have to like it.
No.
Like I say, I have no allegiance to no directors or no producers. They might make a great IP. I might like their version. Mm-hmm. I am a hardcore DC fan. Whoever makes DC material, I'm going to watch it because I love DC. Period.
I'm going to be there for it.
It's trash. If it's good, it's good. It doesn't matter. Yes, Zach made a fantastic start. Him and Nolan. It was fantastic. We got certain characters on the big screen for the first time.
Yep.
I get it. But at the same time, I don't have no allegiance to nobody. Now, Gunn is about to build a universe. I'm all for it. All right? So it is what it is. I don't care who makes it. There's directors and writers that make good stuff. You got trash directors and writers that make certain stuff, that make stuff. And they just don't hit. But you're going there to see these characters on live screen. All right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Well, I love, so the Direct reported this, and we're going to read this article. I'm not going to read this one, but they're already going as far as Jason Momoa reportedly exiting Aquaman due to terrible upcoming movie. Okay, so we got this. Aquaman 2 gets worrying news from test screenings, and this has been the whole thing. So Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has yet to release. It's not coming out to the end of the year, but a new update from its test screening has worried fans. Test screenings have been a mixed bag for DC movies lately. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam performed poorly during its round of previews, resulting in a dismal outing at the box office. Like everybody's like waiting with bated breath. Oh, it was a bad screening. Like nobody, the general audience does not even know that it was screened. It's not because it got a bad screening that it didn't do well. It was that, you know what? Nobody knew who Black Adam was, and it wasn't a pivotal part. He wasn't introduced in he wasn't introduced in Shazam. Right? They didn't cross promote the fact that they had a Shazam movie coming out just a few months after the Black Adam movie, and that they're supposed to be connected universe and connected as characters, but they didn't even promote it correctly because let's be honest, The Rock didn't want it. I totally agree with that story. I totally believe that story because The Rock is The Rock and he just cares more about his character, but nobody knew who Black Adam was. That's my anyways. However, other DC films like Blue Beetle and The Flash received positive reviews from their respective test screenings, with the latter reportedly being extraordinarily well received. Great. However, it seems that Aquaman 2 is currently in the same boat as Black Adam. Insider viewer Anon described the consensus of Aquaman 2 to be boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies after half a dozen test screenings. He said here, quote, "I'll be honest, we're half a dozen test screenings in, and it's not looking great. I've consistently heard over the last half year or so that it's boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies." Big screen leaks corroborated viewer Anon's report, saying Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's test screenings for the movie have not been good. It says, "It brings me no joy to back him up and tell you that test screenings for this film have not been good. Really hoping Juan fixes this movie before December." Then something that almost happened in test screenings. They teased something that almost happened, or that almost never happened in test screenings, occurred in Aquaman 2, indicating how bad its performance is. I heard that something that almost never happened in test screenings happened with this movie. They're really going to need to fix this one and fix it fast. Then Viewer Anon said that Aquaman 2 director James Wan had a rough time making the sequel. This is one of the bad things about being a scooper. I don't want to crap on movies, but at a certain point, when people know there have been a lot of test screenings, our silence becomes pretty telling. I like Wan. I know he's had a rough time on this one. I hope it works out. The Entertainment Scooper also pointed out that the sequel's poor test screening performance has nothing to do with Amber Heard's Mira, since she's not in the film that much. Heard has been in the mixed controversy, obviously due to her clash with Johnny Depp. Says Jeff Snyder also heard that Aquaman 2's test screenings were terrible. The latest rumor about the Lost Kingdom, it says for the cast and crew, especially after the news that people walked out. It's quite odd that such individuals would walk out of a test screening, since it would have been avoided to tell the studio directly what went wrong. It will take some time before fans and critics will eventually give their respective takes on Aquaman 2, but this news could affect their perception of the sequel as it approaches its premiere. Like, you're at a test screening, why would you walk out?
If it's that bad from a test screening, they still have plenty of time to make some corrections. The movie don't come out for what, another 10 months?
Here's the thing. If I was invited to a test screening, Prime, and it wasn't good, first of all, I would never walk out. I would want to stick around.
Yes.
And I would want to give my opinions about why it was bad.
Yeah,
every time I hear, like, and most of the time that I've ever heard this nonsense about, oh, you know, this person walked out, or that person walked out, or, you know, they walked out of this or whatever, I just look at it and I go, well, most of the time that turns out that it's not true. But if somebody's actually walking out of a test screening, you got invited to a test screening, right? Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Absent Good. If you were invited to a test screening, you're obviously part of a special thing to be able to see something that other people aren't getting to see. You're getting to see a movie months ahead of time. This is a special thing to see a test screening.
It's a privilege.
Yeah. Why would you leave? Why would you get up and walk out because you don't like something?
Taking it for granted.
Yeah, you know, to me, that's just stupid. But here's my take on it. If Aquaman 2 is this bad, and honestly, I've heard Jason Momoa talking about it, that supposedly it has a big bent on like global warming, or should I say climate change and stuff like that, you know, and that the Atlanteans are, you know, revolting against the world or whatever. And, you know, look, if that's true, I could see some people probably pushing back on it because people are getting tired of getting preached at about everything, how, you know, all that stuff, right? But again, like Prime just said, it's got quite a while before it comes out.
10 months.
They can fix stuff. That's why you do test screenings. Look,
it's almost like you do test screenings to figure out what's wrong and what you can improve.
Right.
Like it's almost like a draft. It's like a cinematic form of publishing and submitting a first draft to your instructor, or in this case, the audience, to see how they perceive it. They give you feedback, and then you go back, fix what's wrong, and then you return it in for the final submission. It's literally fucking that simple.
But see, that sounds too much like logic there, Jimbo.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't talk about logic in this universe.
I would say this. If the movie is bad, it really ain't gonna make a difference, because right now at this point, we pretty much know the big blockbuster out of all these 4 movies that's going to come out. I think I believe The Flash going to be $1 billion. I believe Blue Beetle going to be right behind it. I think Shazam and Aquaman 2 going to be neck and neck. Never know. Shazam might be a surprise. It might do very well. But I'm going to say, I think Aquaman 2 is probably going to be a bad movie. I'm not saying that it will. I said probably it might. The only reason why it's going to get a lot of money, because the general casual audience is going to go see that film because of why? Jason Momoa. They're going to come out to come see it. Has nothing to do with Aquaman. They're going to go see it because of Jason Momoa and whatever that it does. Even if it is bad, it's going to make his money. Yeah. So we don't have to even worry about that. They got plenty of time to fix whatever it is they got to fix. And if Zaslaw believes, and trust me, he going to step in. If nothing really can get fixed and get done, mark my words, they going to scrap it and they going to use it as a write-off. Believe you me. Because at this point, they got the movies that they know that's going to be good. They know if they can't get nothing done, if they can't. Now, that's just my take on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. They got plenty of time. But if it does not pan out right, they could do the same thing. They could do it as a write-off.
I want to thank that dude Vince for everybody. I don't know who got it, but that dude Vince gifted a membership.
Yep.
So thank you to everyone who's done that. Last couple streams, that's really cool. It's a cool thing to do to kind of give back and bless some other people. You Do Suck says no one walked out of the Showgirls screen test. Absent Good here with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I like your avatar there, man. That's cool.
That's nice.
That's really nice. I like to see stuff like that. You know, like I love the nerd stuff. I love, you know, when we do that stuff. But it is also nice to see when somebody, like, you could tell it's them and, you know, and the people they love and everything. It shows that you're, you know, real people, right? So thank you, Absent Good. I appreciate you, man. Says just showing some love. Thank you. Much love back to you. Says but ready for all the new DC movies, but I can't wait for Flash. You know what I love about this? You know, you guys know. There are still people out there. There are still people out there who hate me. Just because I said let's wait on this whole Ezra Miller thing. Right?
I said the same thing.
That's all I said. They've twisted it to be that I'm defending him, that I'm okay with him breaking the law because I'm a Snyder bro, you know, like all this nonsense. And it's like, no, that's not it. I simply wanted to wait on this stuff, and I believe that Ezra is getting the help that they need, and I believe that I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping, and I joked that, like, I had a little exchange with him a couple of weeks ago, where I told Ezra that, you know, we're pulling for them and we're hoping everything goes well, and I know that Ezra can't really talk a lot right now, right? I know, you know, Ezra and I had talked in the past, but I still hope that he comes on the channel at some point. I hope that he's not scared away from, you know, being able to do stuff like this permanently. I'm really hoping that we can get back to stuff like that. But I say that because I had said that to Ezra, and all Ezra messaged me back, you know, usually people would like put a heart, you know, just like a nice little, you know, heart, whatever. He messaged me back an emoticon of like a real heart. like a human heart. And I love that because it's so him, you know, it's so Ezra. But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, but now all these people are, you know, as soon as the Flash trailer came out, all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, you know what? We're in this. And I even gave RJ a hard time, you know, and all those people like who will look at like stuff that happened tonight on Max's stream or other streams or whatever, or look at me and think, well, you know, Enosh coming in hard against people. Look, I give it to everybody. And I know I think RJ's still watching. Yeah, he's still here. There was just the last comment there. But the thing is that, you know, I was giving RJ a hard time a couple weeks ago because the trailer came out and RJ was pretty, you know, he had said some stuff about his opinion about, you know, he didn't think that they were really going to campaign heavily on Ezra. And now we got double Ezra, and we got Ezra over here and Ezra over there, and we got Ezra everywhere. Right. And, and it was cool. And so, you know, it just is what it is at this point. And I'm looking forward to the Flash. I'm looking forward to other DC movies because, like Prime said, I'm a DC fan. Now, does being a DC fan mean that you have to like everything?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. It does not mean that. Yes. And people will say, Jimbo's like, yes, you must love it. You must love it all. You will take it all right now. But no, for me, it's just that if you're really a fan of DC, why would you root for it to fail? Just because you don't like James Gunn? You don't even know what James Gunn is doing yet. You're putting things on James Gunn, acting like James Gunn fired everybody. He came in and he's like, who here is a remnant of the Snyderverse? You're all going down. I am here to destroy everything that Zack Snyder built up. I will leave nothing in my wake. Oh, where is Zack Snyder? Oh, ha 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 ha. Like, do you see how you guys are acting? It's silly. It's just pathetic, man. You know, it makes no sense whatsoever.
And just the crazy thing, Enosh, too, is that everybody is so much in their emotions because they thinking that this slate is so bad. You are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
But if you're a true DC person and you really paid attention, and the way that he's basically setting this all up, we're in for a real ride. And everybody just not even looking at it. Because for the simple fact, okay, he's bringing in Wildstorm characters. We know we're going to get Milestone characters. We know we're going to get these characters in this continuity. He's putting stuff out there saying that there's going to be characters that you won't even expect, that you know that's going to be in it. It's like, if you are a true DC head and an aficionado, this is what we've been waiting for. We're about to have a real full-fledged DC universe with tier 1 characters, 2,
We're definitely going to eat good. I will say that.
Well, here's my question.
We're about to eat good. I'll say that.
Here's my question for Kevin. Okay, here's my question for somebody like Kevin. Okay, are you rooting for Shazam 2 to flop?
That's the question.
Okay, because here's the thing. First of all, when does Shazam 2 come out? Was it like a couple weeks or something like that?
Yep.
It comes out it's in March, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it comes out in March. So we're just a couple weeks away. And by the way, I'm just gonna bring him in. Hey, what's up, Justin?
Hey.
What's up, Justin? How you doing?
So Shazam is coming out, right? So my question is this, Kevin. It could do 250 million worldwide. I doubt it's going to be that low.
No, it's not.
There was a lot of love for the first movie. I love the first movie. I'm going to be there. Do I have concerns about this movie because it's got villains in it that aren't actually part of Shazam canon, and I don't understand why they did that in this day and age, because every time they did that in the past, it never worked. I have some serious questions about that. I really do. But here's what you got to, and I see the Facebook pages where people are posting the pre-ordered tickets for Shazam. Now, is Shazam a big blockbuster billion-dollar property?
No.
So weeks in advance, am I worried that maybe 5 people have pre-ordered a ticket to that theater, or 4 people, or 3 people? No, because I haven't pre-ordered, and I'm going to be there day one.
Yeah, me too.
Not everybody pre-orders. Look, there are some movies that you can tell, like if a Marvel movie comes out, people are pre-ordering, like day one, right? They're like bated breath because that's what they're looking forward to. Shazam is not one of those properties. So when I see people doing that, I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that it's a fair comparison to do something like that, first of all. But here's my other question. First of all, are you rooting for it to flop? If you're rooting for it to flop, is that based on because you don't like Zachary Levi? Is it based on, what's it based on? Because you think Zachary Levi maybe has somehow attacked Zack Snyder, somehow, because he has spoken some things about some of the fans who, honestly, some of the fans have been real a-holes. Let's be honest. Can we just be honest? Can we have an honest conversation about this? Can we stop acting like and is just innocent of everything, and everything a Snyder fan does is just okay? Because whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes to get what we want, we're willing to excuse. No, I'm not willing to excuse whatever it takes.
Well,
no, I'm sorry. And let me go forward with this and say, I don't know what this prediction is made by, but let me ask you this. The other question is, are you a DC fan? And if you are a DC fan, are you a fan of the character Shazam? Because if you're a fan of the character Shazam, I feel like that should override who's playing Shazam, who's directing Shazam, who wrote Shazam, because I watched that first Shazam movie, and that was a Shazam movie. You got to see. Did you ever think, guys, back in the 90s and in the early 2000s and everything, that you would be like going to see a Shazam movie with the Shazam family and seeing that fully realized, and Dr. Savannah and all those things, man? Like, it's cool. Like, and they're like, people are complaining, well, why are there so many jokes in it? Because it was a 14-year-old kid. I get it that the kids are, well, the kids are going to grow up and they're going to be blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because you know what? I'm sorry. Stranger Things happen. It happened on Stranger Things too. Kids grow up. Movies take 2 to 3 years to make, and unfortunately, when you're a teenager, the difference between 12 and 15 or 16 years old, there's a huge difference between how you look. The difference between 9 and 12, the difference between 14 and 17. You look different, and there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah, when you're in your 20s, 3 years may not make a big difference to how you look, but when you're a teenager, it does. So that's just a natural problem. It's not a problem with the movie. It's not a problem with the studio.
Yeah.
It's literally just they're kids. They're gonna grow up. Look at like I said, look at Stranger Things. Stranger Things has had to account for it. You have to deal with it. It is what it is. I see people complaining, well, like next movie, Zachary Levi is just gonna have to play Billy Batson too. Or like the kid who plays Billy Batson is gonna have to replace him as Shazam. Like, suspend your disbelief. It's a comic book movie, for God's sake. Like, I get the thing, and I can be sarcastic too, but like it's really not that big of a deal. So my question is if you are a DC fan and you like Shazam, why would you root for it to fail? Because the last one was a true Shazam movie. I hope this one is. We haven't seen it yet. Why would you root for it to fail even before seeing what the content is?
Are you asking us or the audience?
No, I'm asking. This is just like a It's a
generalization.
It's just a generalization. I'm asking, but I'm Kevin brought this up that's where I got the highlighted comment, but that's what I'm that's what I'm asking, because I don't think that it matters who's playing the character. I mean, it matters. Don't get me wrong. It matters who's playing a character, but again, if you're a fan of Shazam, now if you're not a DC fan, people will say, well, I'm a Snyder fan. Okay, great. I understand that. There's a lot of people too.
Is he predicting that it's going to be $250 million,
Yes.
or is he actually rooting for it to fail?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Like, are you going to revel in the fact that it makes $250 million and is a flop? Why would you revel in it if you're a DC fan?
Well, that's a question for Kevin to clarify. I don't think that's indicative of everybody, but it does lead to a gretter point of
real quick here. Crush It's got to go. Crush It's got to go. Thank you, Crush It, for being. It's been great seeing you back in the chat, man. We didn't see you for a long time. So thank you for the super chat. So
I as well have to go, Enosh. So I'm going to go ahead and
all right, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Jump off. I will talk to you guys later. Steve Prime, you guys. Howdy, Justin.
I love your hat, by the way. It's really great.
That Joker hat tight.
I know. We were all sharing our hats, and I just don't look great in that in any hat. So
I found this online, and my lady bought it for me, and because she knows my love for the Joker, So.
By the way, did you guys see Grant Gustin finally came out and said, "Look, I don't want to be the Flash anymore."
Hey, have a good one, man.
We all knew this.
All right, good night, guys.
See you, buddy. We already all knew this, and look, Grant's going to show up in that movie. It's a given. I mean, if Grant doesn't show up in the movie, then somebody's stupid. But but the thing is that Grant doesn't even want to be the Flash anymore. He's played the Flash now for 9 seasons, man. Just let the guy move on from, and do something else. He wants to do something else. And just because he played him on the small screen, I'm seeing people now going, well, they should just get Tyler Hoechlin to be the new Superman on the big screen. It's like, no, I'm good. I don't want that either,
I need to say this. I really need to, because, and I want to get off, what you're trying to say, but
yeah, no,
I need people. Let's just talk about at the point at hand with James Gunn and the slate and everything that's going to be bad in Shazam. But let's be realistic. No more joking or no playing around. Shazam 2 is going to make more than the first one. That's a guarantee. It's going to make more. All right, because the first one was successful. I would say it's probably going to get at least about. I'm just going to go on. It might get an additional 300 million because it only made what 375. I'm ballparking it. I know it's like 300 something million that it made for the first one, but I believe that it's going to make at least about 5 or 6 million this go round. All right. Just for the simple fact is that it's going to appeal to a lot of general casual audience people, and a lot of people like the first one. Now the people that are out there that's saying that this James Gunn thing is going to flop, look, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is not going to flop whatsoever. It's not. It is nowhere near going to flop. And the way they got this stuff set up is they pretty much doing everything the way it's supposed to be done, and the way that things should be done. Like James Gunn said before, what they're doing right now, they're doing it 10 times better than what the MCU did. They planned it better. They learned from experience, and the way they're putting this all together is 10 times better than what the MCU started out doing. And a lot of people are just missing what he's trying to do as a whole. So I don't have no worries on it. I'm not worried about it one single bit. So, and what's going to break it all open is going to be when San Diego Comic-Con hits, because they're going to introduce some of the cast at San Diego Comic-Con. They're going to finish the slate because they're going to present the rest of the slate at San Diego Comic-Con, and because some of the cast. So we already know he's going to present the gentleman that's going to be playing Superman at San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
So everything is going to happen this year. So, and last but not least is that people need to stop saying, where is the Trinity and where's they at? This is why I tell people that they are just completely delusional and y'all are idiots. The Trinity is being there. He done said it like 3 times. The Trinity is going to be utilized to showcase all the other characters, all the low-tier characters that they're going to present in the DCU. We're going to get Superman first. We're getting a Batman film. And the Lost Paradise is showing you the beginnings of Diana, so you can understand the Amazons. This is, I'm believing that script or what they was trying to do with Patty Jenkins, they're using that. And they're going to start with an Amazon story, so you can understand the Amazons, understand the mythology and the mythos of the Greek gods, and understand where Diana, what she's really in full about, so you can understand her knowledge. And you're going to go from the beginning. People fail to realize Wonder Woman is over 5,000 years old. She's very, 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 very knowledgeable. Very.
I thought you were about to say old. I'm like, don't do that.
She's old too. Yeah, she's old.
Don't do that.
But
never call a woman old, please.
You know,
we've all learned from those mistakes.
Yeah, so I mean, people need to stop thinking that you're getting a Trinity and all this stuff is getting built. And everybody keep on saying, well, where's the Trinity? Where's the Trinity? You got the Trinity. They're there. That's why he's starting a 10-year universe. We're getting a younger Superman. We're getting a story with all these characters, and they're all going to come together. Because I'm going to tell you, that Wonder Woman story, that's going to be way, way, way. I don't know where they're going to start it off at. It's probably it's going to be way, wow, it's going to be woo. And that stuff going to be off the hook. So I already know which stories that they're using. It's going to be from the beginning of the New 52 Wonder Woman. That's where they're getting that from. So I'm like, it's going to be fantastic. I'm not worried about one bit about this. I'm not worried about nothing. We're in it for a real ride, man. And I can't wait. I really cannot wait, man. I'm going to watch that Creature Commandos. I'm going to watch the Waller stuff. The Lantern stuff, I don't know if that's going to come before Superman or later. But whatever that happens, I'm ready for the ride. Because I know that Creature Commando is going to shock a lot of people. It's going to shock a lot of people. Because I believe that Creature Commandos, if you ever read the book, I read the book. The one that was recommended. That stuff off the hook.
Oh, by the way,
and that's by the way, and that's the thing. Prime. I don't even know what Creature Commandos. I never read Creature Commandos. Right. I don't know anything about that. But you know what? Instead of just being like, "Oh, that sounds stupid," I am going to give it a chance. I'm going to watch it. It's the same thing, like I said with Peacemaker. I get that Peacemaker may not be everybody's cup of tea, but the thing is literally, if you watched Poindexter Lounge the week before Peacemaker came out, people were joking with me in the chat saying, "Oh, Enosh is really excited for Peacemaker," being sarcastic because I had said I don't give a crap about Peacemaker. I don't like John Cena, and I didn't really care about Peacemaker coming to HBO Max. And then I watched all of Peacemaker. I gave the entire show a chance. And what I noticed was there was a lot of people who didn't watch the whole thing, or they didn't watch it at all. Because if you watch all of it, you see the character development over the entire thing. And, and so the thing is if you don't like something, that's fine. Let's see. I had this Integrity one. Integrity says, "I'll be shocked if Gunn's Slate reboot is not a failure. I think it has no chance because I think that the fans are underestimating how alienated, uninterested the general audience will be, especially Soups." That's in Integrity. That is absolutely fine. That is a fine take to have because you actually have like a thought behind it, right? And you have to, you're not just like, because Gunn sucks. You know what I mean? Like that's not
that we're setting, Enosh.
That's not a reason. Like when I see
your opinions,
I know, but when I see people who are just like, it's gonna fail because Gunn is a this or that. It's like that's not a. That's not a conversation.
Argument for one, Enosh,
right.
And also you have to remember that. I mean, look, if anything, this is a man who came into the MCU, knows at least a little bit about how it works. So shouldn't we be excited about the potential future for DC? Because this came from a guy who is a part of the MCU that has really revitalized MCU films. Like, wouldn't anyone be excited? No. And by the way, yes, Kevin, we need to talk about Kevin.
Okay, we're going to bring Darkness
Ezra
in
Miller
first.
Reference, but
we're bringing in Darkness.
Kevin.
So Kevin, if you miss it, you may need to back up a little bit because I addressed your comment earlier about Shazam and how much money it was going to make. And so I just brought that up and I asked you some specific questions. If you want to go rewatch that real quick, it's not too far back. So I just don't want to get into it all again because I already went through it.
Could I simplify it just a little bit?
I mean, I could simplify. I could break it down. I was just asking the question: are you rooting for it to fail? Do you want it to flop? Is that your prediction? Literally, that you think it's only going to make $250 million, even though the first movie made more, and the fact that the first movie was pretty much well receptive.
Yeah.
Like people who didn't even like DC movies pretty much kind of liked it. And so, are you rooting for it to fail? Are you a DC fan? And are you a Shazam fan? And are you rooting it for it to maybe fail because you don't like Zachary Levi or some of the things he said? Because my point is just that, like, I love Shazam. I loved the first Shazam movie because it was a true Shazam movie. I have concerns about the second Shazam movie, again, because they're putting villains in that don't exist. They're just making up villains for this film, and I don't think that that's ever a good idea.
Right.
And there may be too much humor in it at times, but again, they're kids, and I can accept actual criticisms of the film, but we don't even know what it is yet. So that's
yeah. And the root of the question, I think, is that 250 mil worldwide? Is that a prediction, or is that you rooting for it to fail?
Yeah. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Draga52, what's up, Draga? Appreciate you, brother. Axel says, Enosh, I gotta come on another time because I want to talk about what I'm looking forward to in the DCU. I would love to hear that. So, Darkness, thank you for joining us. What is your take on this?
I kind of lost track of what we were talking about because I kind of.
I mean, in general. I mean, so like we've got this state of DC, right? And I'm a little concerned for some of the stuff, you know.
Good to see you again, Darkness.
Oh yes, just
beautiful soup, by the way.
I'm a little concerned, but is DC in trouble We got some fans that absolutely hate James Gunn. They've made it absolutely well known that they hate him. They just want him gone. There's people who've been threatening him even. And then on the other side, you also have these other fans who are opposite of that. And they're very toxic right back. And these people, I've even had conversations this week with people who were like, well, but the anti-Snyder people did this to us, so we're going to get it back. And I'm like, you're talking about superheroes. Superheroes are supposed to inspire us. When I see Snyder fans acting out horribly and threatening and all these things and like talking about, well, I'm going to watch The Flash, I'm just going to pirate it, whatever. And I'm like, you're talking about superheroes that are supposed to inspire you to do good, and you're talking about doing like watching it illegally. And I was like, remember Man of Steel, where it's like, hey, Kal-El, they'll struggle, but they'll stumble, but they will join you in the sun. And this person came back to me and goes, yeah, but you're completely missing the struggle of Kal-El, like to get there. And I'm like, I just want to join him in the sun. I just want to do the right thing, man, and enjoy stuff and have fun.
So many damn times, people just don't understand. Superman has been told differently so many times.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. He has. But to your question though, Enosh, and I, oh God,
do you run with Gunn? That's the question.
I mean, I'll be real. I mean, that one stream you had RJ and Saggy on a little bit. Yes, you saw I had the hashtag We Run with Gunn because I do want to give him a chance because it's like I'm not gonna go at him because we haven't really seen what he's gonna do yet, and it's like. Right. I think the important thing is that we need to give him a chance. And a lot of the people that don't want to give him a chance are like just because it's not what they want to see. It's right. Like with what a lot of other people are optimistic on wanting to see. And I'm going to try and explain this as best as I can because I'm not that good at explaining this type of stuff. But I think the biggest issue with this is like people just want to hate on Gunn and hate on other people just because it's not Zack Snyder, just because it's not their cup of tea. It's not what they want to see with some of these heroes.
Yep.
And even before, before all the controversial stuff started going on with WB, and when Zack first came in, there was a divide in the DC fandom. I remember that, where it was the DC fans, the comic book community, and I remember there were people that were happy about this. And I, for one, liked Zack Snyder's takes on these heroes. I did. And I adored the Snyder Cut. There were people that did say some things about the Snyder Cut, but whatever, that's for another time. And it's like, people have opinions on this, but it's like, don't get to the point to where you are going to go after a bunch of these people just because it's not who you want to see doing these movies. Just because it's someone that you don't want to see directing doesn't mean it's going to be a bad movie.
Right.
And I think the biggest issue with that has to do with how people are going to be handling what James Gunn does. Because I'll tell you right now, what James Gunn could possibly be doing in the future with the slate, with the DCU, a lot of it looks like as if it's going to be literally for example, Batman being Batman, Superman being that Boy Scout, because I remember in Snyder's take of Superman, sorry, my train of thought kind of went away for a minute.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. Thank you. Yeah. In Man of Steel, a lot of people were kind of like, hey, I'm not familiar with this Superman. How come Superman's doing this? He's not supposed to be like that.
Right.
And then there was in BVS, Ben Affleck's Batman. I, for one, didn't have a problem with any of these takes, by the way. But Ben Affleck as Batman, for example, like him holding that big gun, for example, holding it at someone's face, like almost about to shoot him. I remember there were people criticizing that a lot, and I didn't have an issue with it, but there were a lot of people that were criticizing it. And a lot of this has to do with how the general audience takes it, what the general audience is used to seeing.
Yes, the normies are like in these conversations. I get so frustrated because we nerds live in a bubble. We live in a bubble.
Well, and let's be honest, like with Batman, for example, okay, we had just come off of
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah, the
which,
Dark Knight
which
trilogy.
Which
yeah,
which
with,
a lot of
Chris-
times, which a
yeah,
lot of
Chris
times
Nolan.
people only remember the last thing that they saw.
Yeah, and
They
only
don't
a few years
necessarily-
after that, you have Batman v Superman.
Right,
and,
but they
like,
don't.
I
What I'm
just
saying is
remember,
they
like,
don't remember they don't remember continuity from like a long time ago. A lot of times, a lot of times they only remember the continuity from the last thing that they saw. So the last thing they saw was this Batman who had this hard no-kill rule, right? But they forgot that Keaton did this.
Previously on Batman Returns, Batman was walking around with a bomb, pissed. Big Nasty showed up. Hey, Batman, I heard you don't be killing people. He heard wrong.
So they forget that Keaton.
Make you watch part of a Tim Burton movie? No.
I think that the Flash movie would be absolutely hilarious, man. With everybody who complained about Ben Affleck, what if Ben Affleck meets Keaton's Batman and Ben Affleck literally says to like Keaton's Batman, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if he turns to him and is like, man, like you kill a lot.
And people forget
Well,
too,
that would
when
have,
Batman
that would have
returns.
to be after a moment, because you have to realize, like, it's
Batman
like
set
seeing
somebody on fire with the fire from the back of the Batmobile, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Batman,
that'd have to be addressed. It would have to be appropriate for the movie, but also it's kind of like you have to remember. It's like
Batman blows up access chemicals and everybody.
Yeah, but also Enosh,
Yeah.
imagine meeting yourself from another universe, and it's somebody who does not even look remotely close to you.
Yeah.
How mind blowing.
Well, that's the multiverse, though, right? I mean, that's the point of the multiverse. Is there is a world out there then where Prime is Enosh, and Enosh is Prime, and Justin is James Gunn. And Darkness is Zack Snyder. You know what I mean? Like seriously.
If I was Zack Snyder, I don't know what would happen. I love Zack Snyder.
There's a universe out there. There's a universe out there where Joss Whedon made Man of Steel BVS and was making Joss Whedon's Justice League, and it got taken away from him.
And then Zack Snyder came in.
And Zack Snyder came in and ruined it. And for 4 years, people campaigned for the Whedon cut. Release the Whedon cut. And and like that. But that's the multiverse. Is that things are
they're backwards.
They're backwards. They're upside down. They're turned around. They're inside out. And I don't understand people who say that they're DC fans, and they don't get that.
Yeah,
how don't you get that?
Well, also,
but Enosh, but this
you have to remember one thing. Just look, I mean, I know we're all invested in certain properties, and we all have our fandoms, and as you say, Enosh, it's don't tell anybody that your fandom doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not that it doesn't matter. You can be wrong.
The point of that is, there are a lot of people who just want to see a good movie. That's what it comes down to. Let's stop. I mean, we can talk about details and shit like that. That's fun. That's fun. That's great. But at the end of the day, why would we want to root for something, A, to fail, and 2, why wouldn't we want to just sit down? This is what it comes down to. Sitting down in a movie theater, the lights go down, and then we see a good movie and we have a good time with it.
Right.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting that? Wait.
Who directed the movie?
Oh, who gives a shit?
And who wrote the movie?
Directs the movie, as long
and
as
who's president? Who's president of the company that's making the movie at the time? That's what's important.
You know what I care about? What I care about when Prime the Godfather. Hey, dude, you were talking about characters. I am so excited for what is it? The Bold and the Beautiful, or whatever. The Brave and the Bold, whatever.
Love you, Shuri.
Yeah. But I have in my lifetime, I have never seen Robin on the big screen. Batman and Robin. So I'm very excited to see Batman and Robin.
Do you realize they're getting ready to do the 7th interpretation of live action Robin? He's the third behind Superman and Batman of all.
I haven't seen Robin in the costume, like on the big screen ever.
Did you watch Titans?
You never seen this, or you ain't seen Batman Forever and Batman and Robin?
Did you watch Titans?
That wasn't on the big screen.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, but
on the big screen. On
I mean, it was cinematic. I mean, there was 2 Robins in that. But I mean,
care.
Did you watch Batman Forever? Did you watch Batman
big
Forever?
Screen. Like,
did you watch Did you watch Batman Forever?
Yes, I actually did.
Robin was in that, played by Chris.
I was not alive.
See, so this is what you need to do.
What I'm trying to say is that in my lifetime, I have not seen the dynamic duo on screen.
Okay, so that makes sense. Now,
okay, well that makes sense then. Okay.
So let me answer. So this is the thing. So we have the generation, and you have us. Me personally, I don't care, because for the simple fact, you got cats that are our age that say, well, why don't they just do Dick Grayson? Why don't they do that? Okay, I get what you're saying. But you have to remember, people fail to realize Dick Grayson hasn't been Robin in 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? He hasn't been Robin in 15 years. He is Nightwing. So it wouldn't make sense to do a Dick Grayson. It wouldn't make sense for him to be Robin, to be Dick Grayson. Who was this generation's Robin? Damian Wayne. And it makes perfect sense.
Are you talking to me or...
I'm talking about everybody.
I think he's just generalizing.
Yeah, and I'm generally saying I want Batman and Robin kicking ass on in a movie theater for the first time.
Right, and it makes sense, because now you're going to introduce the Bat family, because you got to remember a lot of individuals in this generation. This is why they tripping out about Batman and stuff like that. They grew up on the Batman animated series. They didn't read comics. They really didn't watch a lot of other versions of Batman. All they know was Batman animated series. And for the people that forgot, Batman animated series was on TV for about 10 years.
Facts.
Yes, that was a long time. So in that time, for it to be as popular as it was, that's what people know. And if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to go ahead and look it up, that's where they put the no kill rule for Batman and no gun rule for Batman, was in the animated series.
Boom.
Yeah. And that's what people go by, because it wasn't in the books like that.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. And that's where Harley Quinn got introduced. And she wasn't supposed to be in continuity in Batman. She was only supposed to be used for one episode. And she got so popular, then she kicked off. So for that time frame, that's what people know with Batman. And as it progressed with the Bat family, same thing with Superman. We have so many versions of them. People are stuck on one version because of pop culture. They didn't read books. All they know.
Yeah, you're right, and that's why I get very mad when people. Well, not very mad. I just get like annoyed when people say, "Oh, but in the comics, it's like this." I'm like, which one are you talking about, bro? Come on.
That is true.
But in the comics, once you say that, I'm like, no.
Well,
no,
I think that you got to have a balance of that, right? Because yes, in the comics do matter. That's why we have these characters in the first place, right? And you shouldn't do something that goes off it. The problem is that which comics? Because I feel like when it comes to Superman, for example, right? People are like, well, I want Superman to be like he is in the comics. Well, here's the problem that you're going to have is because I've talked to Dan Jurgens. Like if you're here on the channel, if you've never been here to the channel, Dan Jurgens literally came up with the idea for the death of Superman. Dan Jurgens wrote Superman during that time. He created Doomsday. Like that was all there, right? Yeah, there's an interview right here on the Poindexter Lounge with him. Okay, and we talked about this. And do you understand that Dan Jurgens loves Zack Snyder's version of Superman? Because Superman has not been the way that people are acting like Superman should be in decades.
Yeah.
He just hasn't. Superman has been a serious character who kicked butt, man, and knew when to be serious and and he wasn't naive and all those things and just gosh golly darn Lois, I need to go home and drink some warm milk and eat some oatmeal before I go to bed.
Is that a diss on Christopher Reeve?
No, it's not.
Wait,
By the way,
like,
Prime. Sorry, I didn't see your thing that you got to go. But hey, love you, brother. Thank you for being here. Okay, so Kevin says that, but Superman has not been that way in decades. So when I see somebody say, well,
Kevin,
Superman should be like he is in comics, well, then you want Zack Snyder's Superman. Because that's Zack Snyder's Superman. He's a serious character who feels alienated from the world. He's not a dorky Clark Kent or any of those things, because that was never in the comics. That was not something that was taken from the comics. That was literally something that was created for Donner's verse, for Christopher Reeve to show a difference between Clark Kent and Superman. He is not this dorky thing in the comics. He never was. He played football. He went to college. He came to Metropolis to become a journalist, and he didn't wear glasses. And then all of a sudden, he put on some glasses and he went to work and stuff, and he started using his superpowers, and he became Superman. And read all those comics, because that's who he was. He's not what people act like he is. And so every time I see people go, well, we want a traditional Superman. Well, that hasn't been the Superman since like the early 70s. Right, late 70s. I mean, I should say, actually, no, I take it back. So they, even through Crisis, towards the end there of that run of the old school stuff, Superman, was still serious. I mean, like with Crisis on Infinite Earths, my God, it was stuff. That was where they started gearing him towards that. And then in '86, you had John Byrne, who did a reboot of the whole thing with his Man of Steel series, and you can either like it, love it, hate it, whatever. William, for some reason, hates it, and I don't get why. But it retold the story of Superman, the birth of Superman. I've given away a couple of sets of that. I think I got another set to give away, actually, of that. It's like a 6-issue miniseries, and it's amazing, and I love it. And then people are like, well, Superman, like in Man of Steel, he's destroying all these buildings. Superman's not destroying the buildings. He's fighting Zod. You act like Superman's going around punching buildings on purpose. But Fourth 1000 brings up an interesting point right here. Superman is very serious in the animated series. And do you understand how much collateral damage there is in that series? Superman every week is fighting somebody new and being thrown through a building, like or destroying a city street, or
that is very true.
I mean, every week there's cars being thrown and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, I don't understand this. I don't understand the complaint. Like, to see it in live action for some reason is worse. And so, yes, Christopher Reeve himself wanted the character to be, that was one of his sticking points, that he did not want to come back and play Superman again, because he felt that his character with Superman 3 and Superman 4 especially had become a joke, had become a comedic thing, and he did not want to do that anymore.
Right, and
I'm still making the video. I'm doing my research still. I'm doing my research still, because I've been compiling stuff, videos and interviews with him and others. That the thing is that I'm just telling you right now, Christopher Reeve would have loved to have been Zack Snyder's version of Superman.
You know what? That horse should have been shot a long time ago. I just want to point that out. But even though that's really mean to say, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. But
integrity. Look, I don't want them to start over either. I would love for them to have for Henry Cavill to still be there, and I get all that, and I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I can't curse the new Superman movie, the film that James Gunn is writing, until I see it. If I go see it and it's gosh gee Willikers, Lois, you're super swell and pretty today. Listen, you are going to see a full-on rant from Enosh, okay? You will see me
if it's bad, yes.
Yeah, if it's bad and it is not true to who Superman is in a modern age, yes, you will see me absolutely just like destroy it.
But I do see a point in what Integrity is saying, though, is that why would you start with the Superman movie, as opposed to, let's say, what is it called? The Brave and the Bold. I keep forgetting. I keep calling
because
it
Superman's first, man.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
the
The reason why is that, like, we haven't seen Batman and Robin kicking ass on screen since Batman and Robin, which was because
you're
disaster.
But it's because
so
DC revolves around Superman, bro. No matter the Batman, I love Batman. Trust me, Batman is like right up there, number 2 or so, like for me. But the reality is the DC universe. No matter, we're not talking about popularity, because I know that Batman is super popular. I know, but what I'm saying is, in the DC universe, Superman comes first. He is the most powerful. He is the first character to come on the scene, even though Wonder Woman's older than him, has been around for centuries. The first operating superhero that, like, is out in the open, that the world centers around, that, like, he is the protector of Earth. Even though there are other heroes that protect Earth, Superman is the protector of Earth. Shazam is over here going, "Hey, I'll come to help you, in a trouble." But, like, Superman shows up and he's like, "Okay, that's good." By the way, I do want to support. I would like to support other YouTube channels. So please go check out Gadfly for the best clips of Poindexter Lounge, all arranged in a neat little spot for you to watch and misrepresent. Gadfly,
subscribe. Is he a homeless guy?
That's not Stone Corey, by the way.
No. And Gadfly tonight posted on somebody sent me this. Gadfly supporting Poindexter Lounge. Love it. Reposting my videos. I love the fact that they're trying to get my name out there. I really do appreciate it. Poindexter Lounge and all those channels have run out of material. Apparently, I've run out of material, but I have enough material for you to do nothing but have 4 videos on your channel that are all Poindexter Lounge videos. So thank you. I will continue to make sure that you have plenty of material.
Hashtag monetize the haters.
Yeah, it would be one thing if you just, like, made videos that, like, or a video that, like, criticized you.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
like, just like, hey, this is my opinion, whatever. But to what extent? I need to know more about this. Like, I'm curious.
Oh, it's funny, dude. It's hilarious. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong, because there are people who don't like me, and I'm cool with that. And
I'm cool. I'm cool with it too. When people start bringing my wife into it, and my
that's where you get into family dad mode, where you get out
exactly
the shotgun, and you're like, nope.
And Enosh, just know,
cool.
I said that
there are boundaries, guys.
Of this stream and on that other stream. Just know, like I stand with you, dude. And like what happened shouldn't have happened.
Well, I just look at it. Friends are friends, right? And and look, Max and I will talk. We will hash that out, and Max and I will continue to be friends. But the reality is like, when your friend tells you something from their heart, and they're your friend, and then there's just like some fringe person out here that really doesn't matter. Like, why do you just want to continue talking to that person? It's like I don't know, man. It's like going through a divorce and having a family member still trying to hold on to your ex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, I know that there are situations where it happens and where everybody's cool, but if everybody isn't cool, like, why would you do that? Like, if you have a sister or brother and they go through a divorce and you're like, well, I still want to hang out with your ex. Okay, but there's bad blood here. And, like, literally they're fighting for me for custody, and they're trying to make me look out to be a bad person and all this stuff. And your brother or sister's going, yeah, but I really like hanging out with them and having coffee. Like, well, am I your brother, or are they your brother?
Oh God!
Am I your family member, or are they your family member? You know what I mean? That's kind of my point with some of that. Like, at some point, you just got to say, look, you know what? Maybe I should break off ties with these people, because these people are not helpful. They're not doing anything to help, you know, our cause of just talking about movie stuff. They're causing fights. They're doing these things. And if I tell you, hey, this person did something, please just don't come back to me with like, well, show me proof. Okay, well, you know what?
I will
try to get you proof that is public facing, but it's not necessarily going to come just because you asked for it. And I shouldn't have to just prove myself to you if I tell you, hey, this is something that happened to me. Like, you know what I mean? This is what happened to me. This is the research I did. I found these things out. If you're my friend, and you consider me your friend, then you should. I'm sorry. There should be some trust there. I shouldn't have to prove myself. I don't agree with the statement like, well, I believe that you believe that. That just that's a backhanded comment. Even if you're trying to be nice, it's just a backhanded comment.
Yeah, if you know both people who have like this kind of a dispute very well, like let's say that you knew them from the inception of it, then yeah, I can understand why
I do apologize. I do apologize for how it derailed, because I didn't mean for it to derail like that. It was just somebody came into the chat. They started calling me the Pinosh thing, which is hilarious. Like whatever. Pinosh. like they're all like Pinosh because I had a video where
I remember that whole Pinosh thing. Oh,
I was like peeing. I made a video while I was I made a video while I was peeing, and so they thought it was funny to call me Pinosh, and I was like, okay, so I kind of embraced it for a while, and I would have it on here, I just, instead of Poindexter Lounge Enosh, just said Pinosh, so like I embraced it for a while, but the thing is like, I guess what set me off was like, oh well, I don't like, I'm gonna give you a warning. Don't give them a warning. You know why they're there. If they're bold enough to say something like that in your chat, you know that they're not there for you or the people who are on your panel. You know what I mean? And so, just get rid of them. At that point, I mean, eat them. So I mean, if somebody was attacking Max's family or his wife or whatever, I have shut that stuff down. And that's just how I feel about my friends. And sometimes things get heated. And that one kind of got heated because I just didn't like the answers that I was getting. I just didn't feel that it was fair at the time. But Max and I will be okay because Max.
I mean, I think that leads to a greater point. Look, we all have lives outside of YouTube.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we share more stuff, and that's for you guys. But when it comes to our personal lives, I try my best to keep what is going on with me in my personal life separate from YouTube. It's not a thing where some people will say, oh, it's like two different people. Yes and no. Yes, because we're here to entertain people and to provide conversation and to invite you into it. But when it comes to personal family shit and work-related shit, because some of us have jobs outside of YouTube, by the way, that pay the bills. It comes down to just having a separation between your internet life and your personal life. And I think that is a boundary that absolutely needs to be respected beyond belief. Like, even with meetups, like, you can talk to somebody and it's fine, but like, what happens at meetups should probably stay at meetups unless it's sort of like a general thing. Just be respectful with people.
Well, and the thing too, and the thing too is I don't want to really, like get deep into this, but it's just a thing of like, if somebody is your friend and they tell you something like this happened to me, it's like, okay, but you're like, okay, but I want to go verify it with that person. And I'm telling you, well, they're a liar to begin with. They're not going to admit to this thing. Because if I tell you that, hey, this person's been spamming my chat with negative things about my wife, about my children, about me, and and saying some pretty disgusting things in the chat, trying to spam my chat, and then literally making a YouTube channel where it's like dedicated to trying to show videos of mine, trying to make it out that I love the Confederate flag, which I think is hilarious, in a video with William, who's a black guy, who's like saying the same exact thing that I said, just because we watched the Dukes of Hazzard when we were a kid, and then just saying this other nonsense about me and stuff like that. If I tell you, hey, they're doing this, why would you say, well, I need to go talk to them about it?
Yeah.
And get their opinion. So what are they going to tell you that's any different? Like, why do you need to do a stream with them? I don't understand that.
Well, here's the thing.
That just
doing a stream about that, like that's opening up Pandora's box.
It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's not going to end well.
You know, it's one of those things that you just be like, like, hey, is it okay if I talk with them because I know both of you very well, and it feels like I'm stuck between.
And that would be fun. Like, look, I look at it I look at it like this, man. If it was like you and me, Justin. Right? Because you know Max pretty well, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been around Max for a long time, right? So if I went to Max and I said, hey, Justin did this, and he said, okay, but I hear you, Enosh, but I'd like to talk to Justin about it. It's a little different, right?
Yeah,
because he knows both of us. Mm-hmm. We've both been around for a while. But literally when it is somebody who has attacked him, has attacked me, has attacked like everybody who's on this side of the fandom who's trying to be peaceful and stuff and just do stuff like that. And Max literally said on air that like they weren't close, they don't know each other that way. They're it's just somebody who's appeared a couple of times on the show. Like, why do you got to go consult with that person?
We're gonna have to talk after the stream because I'm very curious about what led to this.
It just is what it is. I mean, but like I said, I like to support other people. So go check out that Gadfly, and his great Poindexter Lounge. I don't even know what it's not even a review. He doesn't even say anything. He just looks at it.
My God. Yeah,
just literally looks at it on his TV.
Oh my gosh! And look,
you guys haven't seen this. You have you seen this?
I don't really pay attention to that
I'm a
side,
big.
But what the hell even happened?
Hold on a second. Here, hold on a second.
Should we react to it because this?
Yeah, we could do a react. I mean, all the views that he's gotten have been because I sent people there. Literally all the reviews have been because I sent people there. Like he had like no views. He's got 1 subscriber I think on that channel. Which is it's fine. Like, look, I don't. I'm
all a big fan of internet beef. Like that can be fun, but as long as you keep it on the internet and never make it personal, and you talk about the points, there you go.
There you go. So the name of this.
Okay, it's a minute long. Okay.
The name of this channel has changed several times in the last month or so. The first one was Poindexter Lounge brags about his sex life.
I've seen that.
Yes. So this was me and my son. This was me and my son in the van months ago. And the thing is at the very end of the video, this was because this same person got blocked from my channel for making up screen names. And saying things like Tiffany wants a real man, Enosh is a fat substitute teacher, Enosh's kids deserve a better dad, and stuff like that. And so the screen name that it was something about Tiffany at the very end. You see me at the very end of the video. Because my windshield wipers were messing up that day. And so like I go to you can hear the windshield wipers going, like they were rubbing weird, And so I go to get out and like, as I'm looking, the phone is right there. We're parked and I look and I see a comment by, one of these screen names. And so I'm sure this will end up as a video right now. Right now, what we're talking about right now will end up as a video on this channel. It'll be the 5th video on the channel. But
I'm gonna laugh if that happens.
Because he took it from just the other day too. But the thing is so I go to get out and then I see that and I come back and I say, well, at least I've known the touch of a woman, and I know the love of my family and friends. And apparently that is me bragging about my sex life because I have felt the touch of a woman.
I mean, that could just be like...
I'm kind of nervous about what this person has or what he does behind the scenes.
Well, they got a 2-parter here about Poindexter Lounge defends the Confederate flag part 1, and then Poindexter Lounge defends the Confederate flag part 2.
You have combined it, you lazy fuck.
Yeah, all these, and by the way, all these views are views that we've sent over because I've shared it with other people. But then this one was from last week because I know who it is. And what I think is funny is I mentioned who it was in something else, right? And I mentioned the person's name, first name, but what's hilarious is this video pops up and they tell Poindexter Lounge attempted to dox me. My name isn't Eric.
Wait, what?
And then look at this.
Oh my
Substitute
God.
teacher and pastor Enosh V punches down and misses. For the second time last night, Enosh got triggered by my other videos and tried to dox me. He failed. Both times he did this on Mad Max The Mandalorian's channel. I have no idea why he arrived at Eric. Oh, yes, you do, Eric. But he's not even close. I will definitely follow up with law enforcement if he decides to pursue this. Here's my question.
Oh my God.
If he's not Eric, why would he follow up with law enforcement?
Who the hell is Eric? Who gives a fuck about Eric?
Go grab some popcorn and buckle in for this meltdown. Here's the original for posterity. Do you guys want to see the meltdown?
Yes!
The absolute meltdown. Okay.
They can't out-
Here we go.
go back because they can't out roast me. I'll roast the crap out of them little boys. Freaking weirdos, man.
It's just, it's just silly at this point. Like I said,
So melted.
I've supported everything. I'm getting tired of being told who's a real Zack Snyder fan and who's not a Zack Snyder fan.
Melting down.
Who's this and that, like
Heating up.
these fake accounts, these fake, chopped up videos that I've dealt with, all that nonsense. And it's like, and hey, Eric, I hope that you like that orange amp that you're playing.
See the orange amp?
I personally don't like orange amps at all. I've got a box. So there you go. That means something to the person who made that video. So
if they're even watching.
Yeah, if they're even watching. But.
I have to run too because I have to.
All right, who's got the power to shut this thing down?
Kaden.
All right. Yeah.
The complete meltdown.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to our.
He's got a Trevor. And some old,
What?
By the way, why do you have a TV set up on a coffee table that's like way far away from where it should be?
I love the
don't
doily.
Understand this?
I love the extra large doily over the table here. That's pretty cool.
I'm not
Some
a fan
JVC
of
speakers. I mean, look at these JVC speakers over here.
Okay, he has amplifiers, but does he actually play a guitar?
I don't know, but he's got this orange amp over this little mini orange over here. But,
orange amp
could
isn't
you just
bad,
see me
but,
melting
does he
down?
play?
That wasn't that much of a meltdown. I mean,
man, I just totally melted down right there, man. It was
What you were speaking there were actual
attempted
facts,
to
because,
dox
like,
you
there
by
is
saying
problems with
your name
this
was.
fandom.
What's that?
I'm just saying, like, Enosh was not melting down. He was speaking facts that there are problems in this fandom, in the Snyder fandom, and DC fandom as a whole.
Yeah, and all he didn't provide any actual commentary. He just recorded his TV with the stream.
That's how all four of the videos are. That's how.
Yeah.
Because he knows if he speaks, everybody will hear who he is. Because we know who he is.
A guy
At this
named
point, everyone
Eric?
knows who he is. Then,
I mean, he didn't record this from the La Quinta Inn, but Shazam 2 box office, $100 million domestic, $150 million international equals $250 million worldwide, says Kevin. And then Kevin says Shazam 2 opening weekend, $35 million, 2.85 times multiplier for legs, $100 million domestic.
We need a sports book, but for movies right now.
Yeah,
And Kevin is
I know,
accurate.
right?
He will win all of it. He will win millions of dollars on this.
Well,
More
Kevin
than
says,
the movie actually
Kevin,
made, maybe who knows?
Yeah, look. In all fairness, he says, and I said, I'm basing box office numbers on early tracking, not because I want to flop. Now and thank you for answering that, because that was what I was wondering, right? Like, what are you basing it off of? I think this is just my opinion, Kevin. So I mean, people could take this for what it is. I said it earlier, actually, when you weren't here. I get it that there are some film franchises that we can take, like the pre-sale tickets, and we say this is how much money this movie's going to make. I don't think Shazam, though, is that type of film. Shazam is not this big franchise film that was ever going to make $1 billion or like a ton of money. It'll make a profit, It'll be seen by people. I think more people end up seeing it probably at home later on. I don't think it's going to be something that just drags everybody out to the theater. So I don't think it's going to be like the hottest hit, of the year. But I do think that it will do better than this. I don't think that it's going to make only $250 million. I haven't pre-ordered my ticket, okay? And I'm still going to be there opening day. I don't pre-order tickets a lot. I know that there's a lot of people nowadays that pre-order tickets and stuff, but there's a ton of people who don't. So, look, we can come back and talk about it. Like once it does come out, once the box office comes out, we'll have that discussion, and it'll be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. But I know that a lot of times most things surprise anyways. It's not an exact science on predicting those things. So it's interesting. Dat Dude Vince with a $2 super chat says, "Let's do a Picard season 3 episode 2 watch party." I would.
Oh, wow.
Look. I watched Picard. Two things that I will tell you guys. I watched Picard last week. Well, actually, I watched it a couple days ago with Tiffany finally, and loved it. I thought, listen, I watched season 1 and 2. They were okay. This felt more like what Picard should have been, right?
All right.
Seasons 1 and 2 were great. I really liked, in fact, the first half of season 1. The second half of season 1 kind of fell off for me. Season 2 was better, and I really enjoyed it all the way throughout. But season 3 has started off really good. Tiffany got really into it. And whatnot, but I can't do the watch party. One, because it's 3:30 in the morning and I want to get to bed anyways. But 2, Tiffany would want to watch it with me, and so I want to save it for when I watch it with Tiffany. But I will tell you this. Can I tell you guys this? Tonight,
oh, wow.
I watched Knock at the Cabin. Tiffany and I watched.
Oh, you saw Knock at the Cabin.
Yes, we saw Knock at the Cabin, and it is really good. It is really good. Yes, it is really, really good. And it's not typical M. Night Shyamalan, I'll be honest with you. And Dave Bautista. Wow. I understand why the guy gets top billing in the movie.
Wow.
Really, really good. Really good. Like so much range in this movie. He definitely is not trying to play the action star, The Rock playing every role the same, whatever. You can see his acting chops in this. The fact that he's trying to apply his craft and try to act, even being the big guy that he is, you know what I mean? That like he's kind of like, how like Arnold Schwarzenegger would do that, like how Arnold Schwarzenegger he would be like, in Terminator, or he'd be in Predator, and he's like this soldier and, going after all this stuff. But then he would be in like Kindergarten Cop, and he would just be like the guy who's like really into muscle building, but like is like every day,
he's like an everyman, but he's like a gentle giant, and he's not going to kill you, even though you know that he could easily,
because there's just dudes that are like
my
that.
French, but he could easily. Fuck you up.
Yes. And so
like, let's not even like
So here's the funny thing about Knock at the Cabin. In the parts where they have to go, there's a tiny bit of blood, but nothing is gory integrity. Nothing. In fact, the scenes where stuff has to happen, where like if somebody has to die or something like that, it literally pans. I noticed this. It pans away so that you hear what's going on, but you don't see what's going on.
I think the two best ones, like I think this is the first time that I've seen Rupert Grint really be pushed like to an extreme level that I'm like, I was not comfortable with, and he probably was not comfortable with, like to a certain degree. But he's probably like, it's a movie, but I'm like, my gosh, I'm like, I have like that made me respect Ron Weasley more. like than anything else. Like, I'm not going to give anything away, but my goodness, I'm like, really, like, it makes me more mad about the Harry Potter movies, not to get off on a tangent too much, but of how poorly that character was written, and the abilities that Rupert Grint has are so underutilized.
So you've seen Knock at the Cabin?
I have, and you know what? I criticized Army of the Darkness because I thought Dave Bautista was just like, you know, I was like, I really want to root for you, but I'm like, I'm not getting.
So did you not like the movie?
I did. It's not that I didn't like the movie. I'm just like, Dave Bautista, please just give me a little bit more. And this role in particular in Knock at the Cabin, it seemed like it was written for him, and he played it so well. And I love it.
I thought you were saying that like you watched this and you wanted him to give you a little bit more in this. Because I
Oh
was
no,
like,
not in that.
I don't know what else more he could give you, man. He laid it all out there on the table, man. And I'm like,
in Army of Darkness, you know.
Yeah, but Army of Darkness, though, I feel is like again one of those
like
things that he's
trying,
playing a
but
soldier.
I'm not sold on it. Like I'm not entirely.
Yeah, but
sold.
he's not. But the thing is, he's just trying to play one of those characters, right? That's like a soldier type of character in that. And I think that's the beauty of it. That like he's got that range where he can play that kind of thing. But at the same time, then man, he comes in here with this movie, and you realize, yeah, you know what? Dave Bautista was not lying to me when he told me that like he is really trying to study his craft and learn how to be an actor. You know, and it makes sense with Ryan Johnson saying, you know, like I saw Dave Bautista in Glass Onion too, and I thought that Dave Bautista was good in Glass Onion, but again, he plays a role that's kind of weird for a big guy like him, right? Because in that he plays basically a streamer, a Twitch streamer, who is a gamer.
That is true. He
Who's a
does.
gamer, which you look at it and you go, wait a second, this big muscular guy is a Twitch streamer, but you know what? I believed it. I definitely believed it. It was different, you know what I mean? Because you don't see a lot of Twitch streamers that are like, you know, but you know what? He played it in a way that I believed it. And so I think that he's like looking for diverse roles. But Ryan Johnson said about him that, look, somebody's going to come, you know, one of these directors, these artsy directors are going to come around and cast him in something, and they're going to look like a genius.
Yeah, because
they're going to give him some material. You're going to give him, it's Army of the Dead, Blake, not Army of Darkness. They're going to give him. They're going to give him some material that's like super meaty, right? And super just awesome.
You need. You know, he's one of those actors that you need to give him a good role that he will fit well with, and that's where he will shine. And I think Knock at the Cabin was a great example. Glass Onion, a step in the right direction, better than Army of Darkness. Wasn't a big fan of Glass Onion as much as I was with the first Knives Out, but that's neither here nor there. But with him, it's just like you need to. I feel like you need to write him into something that he'll be suited for, because yes, he's relatively new to this. He's not new to being on screen by any means, but in terms of like, he is trying to be a serious actor. So let's give him roles, give him opportunities for him to shine, and give him a chance to do that, because that's something that I know a lot of people who want that chance. And you know what? I at the end of the day, I just want him to succeed, and I think he absolutely succeeded at Knock at the Cabin.
For sure.
He knocked the cabin out of the park.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Well, hey, guys. Good stream tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the time that we spent together. Please, if you haven't already, hit that like button, because that just really helps, and we appreciate it when you hit that like button.
Support!
But look, you know, at the end of the day, gosh, man, we're going to get new DC movies, right? You may not like them. I may not like them. Like I said, I may be on this whole bandwagon a couple years from now and just be like, you know what? This is BS. They ruined Superman. They ruined Batman. James Gunn sucks. Fire James Gunn. You know, he's only got a year left on his contract.
By the way, I
anyway.
said Army of Darkness, not
yeah, you said it a few times.
Sorry.
But, you know, but no, it's all right. You know, but you know what I mean? So, like, we could all be hear that. But you know what? The thing is none of us are going to know until we see it. And this idea that James Gunn is just going to ruin the thing that you love just because he's James Gunn.
I'm sorry, by the way,
Doesn't make
Darkness
any
Under
sense.
the Wind, that you didn't get too much of a chance to talk. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We'll get Darkness. We'll get you in earlier next time, man.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
I'll shut up from here on out.
No, dude. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
No, for the stream. I have plenty more things to talk about.
Well, Taryn, I'm glad that you are a member now. I think that was probably Vince's gift. So that dude Vince is probably who gifted that one for you. So good to have you on board. Hey everybody, let's just try to stay positive and see
exactly
and see what comes, right?
Yeah, give Gunn a chance, y'all. Give him a chance on what he's gonna do.
Right. But until next time, like I always say, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. Don't tell anybody that their fandom doesn't matter. But seek to have good conversations. Try to treat everybody with respect, as long as if you can. If at all possible, live peaceably with everybody. But if not, sometimes you gotta.
Unless you prefer David Lee Roth over Sammy Hagar.
Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut. To go.
You knew I was going to say that.
Try to live peace. Sometimes you got to boot people out of your life. Seriously. Sometimes people just got to go. Like you put up with them, but once you see what somebody's about, sometimes you got to say, okay, you know what? This is not worth it. And be a good friend. Be a true friend.
Yeah.
And if you do those things, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. Thank you to all my panelists. Thank you to Darkness. Thank you to Justin. Thank you to Prime. Thank you to Jimbo. And thank you to Thade. Great show tonight. You guys made it good. Please make sure to invite somebody to the lounge, right? Tell somebody about the Poindexter Lounge. Tell them that we're here, that we talk about nerd stuff and have some fun. All right.
I heard of the Poindexter Lounge from Saggy Melon, so you can thank her for that.
Oh well, thank you. And occasionally we get into some drama with some people, and people make YouTube channels that are all about us.
If I remember,
or Twitter accounts even.
Like I heard of the Poindexter Lounge when you came into my comment section and were trying to roast me.
That wasn't the first time I had seen you, though. I saw you on Max's stream because
these people, they suck.
The first time I saw Justin was the night that Andy Signor came into Max's stream, and I confronted him. We had this whole thing, and then we all kind of went in the back, because then all of a sudden like it was Max and Matt and you, for some reason he kept you in there. I don't even know why he kept you in there, but so like we're sitting down, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, who is this Justin Proper guy? Who is this guy? And why is he here in this argument that Max is having with Andy Signor? Like, why are we all out? Why are we all in the back room? Like, we literally created a different StreamYard to watch the show while we were in the backstage of Max's. And we're just like, what is Max doing right now? Like, he's arguing with Andy, but he's got Justin there kind of like on his side, and we just couldn't figure it out. And it was really funny, because then I realized, I found out who you were and everything, and that's fine. And then I remember I was going through something, and I watched your stream, but you had this stream that was like an ode to Jeremy, and I just couldn't. My God, to Jeremy Griggs, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And it was like all these people just kissing Jeremy's ass, and I was just like,
he's still a friend of mine, so
I know. No, you know what? Listen, man, I would love to actually have some more conversations with him about G.I. Joe. I should reach out to him again. Because I don't hate Jeremy. I don't. And like, there's a lot of things about Jeremy that I understand. At the time, there were things. There's sometimes that you just feel very, very passionate about a certain subject, and you need to be able to share that. And I did, and Jeremy and I had a disagreement about some things, and he came on here on the channel, and I thank him for that, actually. But it is what it is at the end of the day, right? And
exactly.
We move on, and we don't have to hate people and all that stuff, But yeah, you just were so far up, Jeremy. I mean, it was like, you know what it was like? It was like Darth Maul here. It's like this was Jeremy, like, and this was you. My arm represented you, and you were like so far up there that you were just yeah.
Well, you have to
I am Jeremy Griggs, but I have Justin Proper up my ass. There you go.
My twin.
I love how you picture me as the pitcher. I appreciate that. It's great. I love it. There's nothing else to say about that. But you always have to
kind of
remember
like Big Bob Ross in the back is the picture to Little Bob Ross.
every time someone says something about the
Oh, come on, you can't act shocked anymore. You got Little Bob Ross face first in Big Bob Ross's crotch. Come on. And it's every time. You just don't move it. Come on.
And no one mentions the little parrot that's coming out of Little Bob Ross's ass.
Well, that's kind of hard to see.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
it is.
Jeez. Oh, crap. That's kind of hard to see, actually, on your screen. So
Should I adjust it a little bit? No.
Oh, no.
For another
Dang.
day. For another
Dang.
day.
For another day.
That's like
For
your
another
living
day,
room,
Wesley.
right?
For another day. For
Is that
another
like-
day.
Yes, it is.
So do you ever move? Because apparently nobody's been over to your house in quite a while because unless you just put Bob Ross that way every time.
Oh, I've had people over, but we don't really spend too much time in the living room.
You just avoid Bob Ross altogether. Your friends are like, yeah, I don't want to go in the living room. Stuff happens in the living room.
I'll plead the fifth on that. But I will actually.
Justin only has people over to go straight to his bedroom. That's what he's saying. They go straight.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. You did.
Justin's pitching all over the place.
Rarely
His nickname is Nolan Ryan or Oral Hershiser.
What? What? What?
Oh my god. What?
Now pitching for Geeks and Gamers.
Oh no.
Now catching Jeremy Griggs.
Oh god.
Now pitching Justin Proper. Oral Justin Proper.
You know, with any good relationship, it's a give and take. You know, as Paul McCartney said, the love that you take is equal to the love that you make.
Oh.
You're having way too much fun with this.
I am.
Just zoomed in on everything, just like, hello, Justin. How are you doing?
Oh, that was funny. All right.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Stay nerdy.